Live. So I guess we should start with a little intro. What do you say, boys?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Football freaks, gridiron geeks,
amazing. Let's
have no
What
fear.
a great intro. I
The
love it.
Horsemen are here in the
Yeah.
flesh, baby.
Let's do this.
What
baby.
is up? What is going on, everybody? A Pizzle 90, LC Muscles 28, Tiny Tim, Steel Summer will be here soon. We are 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems. What is going on, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
How sweet was that?
That was epic.
That was absolutely amazing. I love that.
Well, if you guys don't know, we used to be called the Pain and Gain Pick'ems.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on his channel, right?
That was.
LC Muscles channel. Now we're rebranding a little bit, giving the people what they want. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to start out by doing our season preview and predictions.
Ooh.
Now, I know Tiny Tim did his on the Fantasy Football Fever, right?
I think we did. It was like a couple of weeks ago or so.
A couple weeks ago. So we're going to start with the AFC North. We're going to go south. We're going to go east. And then we're going to go with the west.
Ooh, okay.
We're going to start with Lucas's division first.
All right. I'm down
So
for that.
we're going to, for AFC, we're going to go last to first. Who we think is going to go last? And then we're going to go first. Last first.
Sounds good
So
to me.
I guess I will start. So in last place for the AFC North, this should be no surprise to anybody whatsoever. I have the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, sir.
Now, don't get me wrong. Their roster is strong with one of the best offensive lines in the league. They have Nick Chubb. They have Dearness Johnson in the backfield and Amari Cooper as a true number 1 wide receiver. And then on defense, they got, in my opinion, one of the most underrated secondaries in the league with guys like Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, Grant Telpett, and then Greg Newsome. And then on the defensive line, you got Myles Garrett, you got Davion Clowney, and then J.O.K., the linebacker, looks like he's going to be a stud for years to come. It all depends on how they do without Mr. Deshaun Watson. Because
Famous
as
woman
we all
respected
know,
Deshaun Watson.
as we all know, he is going to be suspended for 11 games, and he will
Right.
return week 13 against his former team, the Houston Texans, because
How ironic.
storylines,
How ironic.
because money.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, their backups are a mixed bag. It's going to be Jacoby Brissett starting, and he was our backup last year. He was okay at best.
Yeah.
And then his backup is Joshua Dobbs, who has,
Former Steeler
in my
player.
opinion, and I believe he's never started an NFL game.
He's think he started one, but he's mostly coming back up duty.
Yeah.
Regardless, I have them at 6-11. Next up, we got in third place. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be interesting in this transition period with Ben Roethlisberger retired, Juju now being on the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Mike Tomlin will have this team ready for battle no matter what. It is Kenny Pickett starting, right?
Nope, not yet.
No, I'm sorry.
Right now, it is Mitchell Trubisky.
Piss and titties Trubisky.
Yes.
And they have plenty of help in like Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Pratt Freiermuth, and then rookies like George Pickens and Najee Harris is still one of the best running backs in the NFL. Plus, on the other side of the ball, they got TJ Watt, the reigning defending defensive player of the year, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and new linebacker Miles Jack. They've never had a losing season, but this year I think they will. 8-9 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second place, I have the reigning defending AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Bengals in second place. Then they finally got help on the offensive line, which is something that they desperately needed. They got Alex Kappa from the Bucs, Ted Karras from the Patriots, and La'el Collins from the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Mixon is still one of the most underrated running backs in the league. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are a nice 1-2 punch at wide receiver. And then defensively, they have Trey Hendrickson from the greatest university in the history of space and time, FAU. Give a boot, don't pollute. However, they can't expect to finish this year as strongly as they did last year, especially since they finished the season against the Chiefs, the Browns, the Bucks, the Patriots, the Bills, and the Ravens. I have them at 11-6. And then last but not least, you got the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, dual threat quarterback, is 37-12 as the starter, taking over the role in late 2018. J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards should be healthy after season-ending knee injuries. Kyle Hamilton looks like he's going to be an absolute stud. And I think, the AFC North won't be easy, but I think Baltimore should hold an edge against the other teams. I have them at 12-5. What about you guys?
Tiny Tim, go for. Oh wait, you already did yours, right, Tiny Tim? Or you want to go again?
Let's hear what Tiny Tim has to say.
Let's see it.
Well, let's see here. Just looking at my previous notes. Where's the AFC North Division, and I see in fourth place, Cleveland Browns, unless major things change with that team, probably mostly the management or something, but I just can't see the Browns getting out of the cellar anytime soon, maybe in the next year or so, maybe afterwards. I don't know. I've got the Browns going 8-9. Then LC Steel Sermon, you're going to hate this. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers finishing in third place with a record of 9-8, but I do see them with a winning season.
Okay. Mike
Tomlin, one of the greatest minds that ever has been coaching in the league. I got to tip my hat to Mike Tomlin right there. But with a new quarterback situation now that Big Ben has retired, it's going to be kind of a transitional period for this team, at least for the offense. Hopefully the defense can pick up a little bit. Third place, second place, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals. I can see them winning at least 10 games this year, at least 10. So that means that my pick for the AFC North champions will probably be the rejuvenated Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
I got them going at least 12 wins, maybe 13. So
And they will be healthy this year. Last year, they had a lot of injuries.
Right.
A lot of injuries. Lucas, what do you got?
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and
God.
talk about this.
I think I know where this is going.
So, Cleveland, we're all on the same page. Cleveland Browns are the last place team. No surprise there. Famous women respecter Deshaun Watson is going to be sitting out the first 11 games of the season, and then we'll play against the Texans. And at that point, the Browns season will be completely over. I just don't see how they get more than 6 wins this year. 6-11 for the Cleveland Browns. Third place is actually the Baltimore Ravens. Reason why? Here's the reason why. I just do not trust their offense. They have a good running game. Don't get that wrong. Who, other than Mark Andrews, who do they have to throw the ball to?
Bateman?
Rashard Bateman. Okay, so this is a guy they drafted.
Bateman?
Rashad Bateman is your number one receiver, followed by Devin Duvernay. None of these receivers have even come close to sniffing over 1,000 yards receiving. You just traded away your best receiver to the Arizona Cardinals, and you're trying to think that a run-first offense is going to win again? It's not going to happen. Run-first offenses do not thrive in the modern NFL. This isn't the 70s anymore, Baltimore. Stop living in the 70s and catch up with today. You win with an aerial attack, and unfortunately, Lamar Jackson only has his safety net, Mark Andrews. He doesn't have his safety net, Mark Andrews. He's kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Defense will be good and keep him in games. I just don't trust Lamar Jackson. If the Ravens get down early, you can't trust them to come back. They're not going to. Other than the Minnesota Vikings game last year, where was a game that when the Ravens got blown out or when the team went ahead, when did they come back? Never. They never came back when they got blown out by the Bengals early on the season. Ravens didn't do anything. I don't expect them to do anything. Hollywood Brown was their best receiver, and he was probably one of the other best options other than Mark Andrews. But I cannot trust Rashard Bateman and Devin Duvernay as a wide receiver duo that's going to scare people. Let's be honest here. They're not going to scare people. It's probably the worst receiving duo in the league, if I had to be honest with you. I think Jacksonville's receiving core is even better than the Baltimore Ravens receiving core.
Wow.
Sure, Mark Andrews is a top 5 tight end in the league. But other than that, who do you have? I think that's what's really going to hurt the Ravens this year, 8-9. I think their defense does a lot to get them at least 8 wins. The run is going to get stopped early, and when they get the lead, when teams get a lead on them, Lamar's not going to be able to come back from them. And then Lamar Jackson's going to leave after this year. I do not think Baltimore is going to keep Lamar Jackson.
Oh.
They said, Dash even put a good point.
Hold up.
And if the Baltimore Ravens do not sign Lamar Jackson to a long-term deal, he's out. And I 100%
Really?
I think he's not going to stay. I just do not see a reason he stays. I just don't see a reason. You need to provide with good wide receivers. And their offensive line is mediocre at best. You having 2 players coming off season-ending injuries. Lamar Jackson coming off a season-ending injury and Ronnie Staley. That's also a big problem, especially because Ronnie Staley was one of their top offensive linemen, which also helps. It's extremely rare to see a quarterback to come back after a season-ending injury and do well, just like Johnson proved in the comments. It's extremely rare to see it. Like Joe Burrow going to the Super Bowl, it's extremely rare. So I just do not see the Ravens winning division share. I just don't see it. I think that they get swept by the Steelers again because, let's be honest here, ever since I joined the TTC, Ravens Red Zone has been my personal puppet and personal pitbull. It's going to continue. Ravens Red Zone has been my puppet, and it's going to continue. So, my team now, Pittsburgh Steelers will be second. I'm not having them they're not winning the division this year. Let's be honest here. Steelers will not win the division.
What?
I actually have the Cincinnati Bengals winning the division, but the reason why I do not have the Steelers winning the division, I just don't see it being near the time yet. I think the Steelers will be much more improved on offense. I think our offensive line, though, it's not one of the best in the league, but you know what? It's still a really good, decent offensive line. Better, it's mid. I'd probably say it's in the top 20. I don't think it's better than that, but we still got some great pieces. We got Najee Harris. We got George Pickens, who we just drafted. We got Calvin Austin. We got a good receiving team finally for the first time in years, so we don't have to have Deontay Johnson take kicks again. That's completely stupid. We actually signed a guy that will actually be a kickoff returner.
Right.
And I think the only team that has the best passing attack is probably the Cincinnati Bengals. They're the best passing offense in this entire division. Let's not get carried away here. The Bengals have the best offense in the AFC North. I would say the Steelers have the second best. So I think the Steelers will definitely have their defense keep them in games, and all Mitch Trubisky needs to be is a game manager. That's all you need to be, and I think he can do that pretty well. I think he could throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field, which was Ben's kryptonite last year. He could not throw the ball more than 15 yards last year, and I have the Steelers at 11-6. But my AFC North champion is going to be the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the Cincinnati Bengals have the best passing offense in the league. They have the best offense in the AFC North. Their defense has slightly improved, even though Jesse Bates could be a question mark to sign long term. I think the Cincinnati Bengals will have the top offense, and I think will carry them to get many gains, including Joe Burrow having a great offensive year as well. But I think they finish 12-5 and win the division.
Very nice.
So yeah, I do not. Yeah, do you thought I was going to say the Steelers win the division? Not even I could not even predict that this year.
Well, I mean, Big Ben retiring, that's pretty big.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna. I just don't see the Steelers winning the division this year. As much I would love to see it, it's not happening.
Well, I think they're still a few years away from that.
They are. We're a few years.
At least a couple.
Yeah.
At least a couple.
I think we're at least 3 years away. I want to see how Kenny Pickett develops.
All right, now let's go to the South. AFC South, last place. This should be no surprise to anybody. Actually, it could go either way between two teams.
Right.
But I'm going to go with the Houston Texans being in last place.
I agree.
As bad as things were last year, they did pretty well. They exceeded the expectations, Houston, a little bit. You know, Davis Mills, I think, as a rookie, did really well last year for what he had, or for what all the weapons Davis, they had.
Long neck Mills, the Jurassic.
He was arguably the second best quarterback behind Matt Jones. Can you agree with that?
That honestly makes a lot of sense. He kind of was
better than Lance, better than Lawrence, better than.
I agree.
Justin Fields, man, yeah. The Texans invested heavily into their secondary with drafting Derek Stingley Jr. Out of LSU, and I think with them adding that and adding a bunch of other pieces with Lovie Smith being their new head coach, I think they're going to round out the year at 6-11. Now, for third place, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, and after the dumpster fire that was Urban Meyer,
oh God,
there's only one way to go, and that's up.
Exactly.
However, with an incredibly risky number 1 overall pick in Trayvon Walker and their third coaching staff in 3 years, it's hard to imagine things getting any better for the Duval. The only glimmer of hope for them is Trevor Lawrence. Hailed as the next best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, there's still a chance that he can turn things around after Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
However, with the additions of Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and their relatively young defense, I'm going to have them also at 6-11. Now, for second place, I have the Tennessee Titans. They traded away A.J. Brown. Why would you do that? He was the best receiver they had.
I absolutely could not tell you.
And they replaced him with Treylon Burks?
Treylon Burks.
Really? He really hasn't been that impressive from what I saw in the preseason. But they added Robert Woods. Derrick Henry is still one of the best running backs in all of the NFL. Henry, King Henry. The only Henry. The only problem, though, is the quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. If we see what we saw in the playoffs, they're in for a rough year.
Yeah.
Dolphins Tannehill will show up, I guarantee you. This year, I have them at 9-8. And last but not least, my pick for the division is the Indianapolis Colts. And they missed the playoffs by one game.
That's
one
insane.
Game. All they had to do, win, and you're in. and
Exactly.
they failed to do so.
Couldn't win
Carson
against
Wentz-
Jacksonville.
Carson Wentz is no more, and bring in Matty Ice. I think that is a huge improvement.
I agree.
Pairing him with young players like Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr., and then Alec Pierce in this draft, I think this offense could be a lot better this year. A lot better this year. Plus, on defense, they still have Darius Leonard. They still have DeForest Buckner, Stephon Gilmore, Yannick Ngakoue. My prediction for the Colts is 11-6 and winning the AFC South. Feed JT. What do you guys got?
Tyington.
Tyington, what do you guys say?
Okay. Once again, in my opinion, the AFC South will be a two-team race. So there's not too many things to say about the bottom two I got here. For some strange reason, and I was just looking at this schedule up and down a little bit, I only see Jacksonville winning one game this year.
Only one? Wow.
One game? Wow. I did not
If that's not bad enough, I think I can only see the Texans winning 3 games. They'll finish third place.
Ooh, my
What?
God.
So let's go to the meat of the problem, the meat of the situation here, the Titans. I got the Titans finishing 8 and 9, second place.
Okay.
As A Pizzle said, why trade that awesome wide receiver? I mean, he was great, but now you're replacing with who?
Traylon Burks.
Traylon
Rookie from
Burks.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Or as Gary said on Bofa's this past Monday, Arkansas.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, if you're watching, what's up, buddy? We love you. Hey, everybody, Zach, Dashy, Joshua, Johnster. Hey, great to have you guys back. Mwah. Love you.
Hell yeah. Luke.
And
Burks.
so Ryan Tannehill, you see him as probably the old Dolphins Tannehill rearing its ugly head again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping for his sake it doesn't happen. And I'm hoping for Alex's sake that it doesn't happen. I got them finishing 8 and 9. I've got the Indianapolis Colts finishing at 10 and 7. This guy, Jonathan Taylor, he is something else. And now that and now that they have a new quarterback, now that Ice maybe has left Atlanta and gone to Indianapolis, who knows? Maybe a change of scenery will do him good. So that's basically my AFC South Division prediction right there.
Sweet.
Now, for me, I think all our orders are going to be the exact same. Actually, Tiny Tim's was actually switched up a little bit, but mine, I'm going to say with Alex's on his boat here. So I have the Houston Texans here at 4 and 13. I just don't see much improvement for them. They do have some great young spots in the league, and what the crazy thing is that Damian Pierce could be a name that could be good in fantasy. The Texans do have some young pieces, including Davis Long, Mech Mills, who could be good. I think the Texans will definitely do some stuff, but I just think overall in general, I think the Texans will just be 4 and 13. Don't see much there. They're still rebuilding. Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm at 6 and 11. 6 and 11, I think that the Jaguars will definitely do better than last year, but not much better. They still have a lot of work to do. They did get Christian Kirk, Evan Engram, and some new other pieces. They got Travis Etienne back from getting injured in the very beginning of training camp last year. He's not back, and I think the Jaguars will improve a little bit, but they still are rebuilding as well. Second place is the Tennessee Titans. I think we all had the Titans in second place. I agree once again, but I have them at 10 and 7. I just don't think they'll have the offensive talent to repeat what they had last year. I just think Ryan Tannehill will definitely show his ugly head this year. They may get a good win in week 1, which we'll talk about a little later, but let's be honest here. The Titans won't be able to show off their dominance too much longer.
Yeah.
You have Henry, but other than that, Ryan Tannehill's just going to be average, and it's just going to be an average year for the Titans, 10-7, nothing too crazy. And finally, my last pick, the AFC South champion, the Indianapolis Colts. This is the obvious one. I think the Colts should win. Yeah, Matty Ice, who could actually probably live up to his name because it'll actually be ice cold in Indianapolis, temperature-wise. But that's just beside the point. Matt Ryan is an extremely good operator over Carson Wentz, and I think John Taylor will have another great year. Could he get 2,000 rushing yards this year? Only time will tell. He could have a good year this year. I think the Colts will definitely win the division, though. I don't think they'll be the front runner of many other teams. I think they'll definitely do well. 12-5 for the Colts, just because they'll probably sweep their division. That's why I'm going to put them at 12 wins.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the AFC East. Now this
Your
is my
division.
Here we go. Last place, no surprise, the New York Jets.
The Buffalo
Jets suck and the season.
And it just started.
It's going to end before it starts.
Pretty much. Zach Wilson is going to be out for at least a couple weeks with
I think at least the first
tear.
game. Yeah, a meniscus tear. We all thought it was going to be an ACL tear, but thank God it's not an ACL tear. We don't want him We don't want him injuring himself while banging his mom's best friend.
Allegedly.
Oh,
he's got sounds too.
Yeah, I got a little sound machine right
That's
here.
awesome.
Ooh, okay, that is pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah,
That's cool. All right. So in 13 games last year, he had 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and was sacked 44 times.
Oof.
that's not good.
The offensive line won't get much help with Mekhi Becton injuring his knee once again. He's going to be out for the second season in a row.
That
Jets
sucks.
took cornerback Sauce Gardner,
Sauce.
4th overall in the draft. They also took arguably the best wide receiver in the class in Garrett Wilson. The future looks bright for the Jets, but as of right now, the present does not. 4-13, and once again, a top 5 pick in the draft. Third place, I got the New England Patriots, and the Patriots made a good run last year with new quarterback Mac Jones. In his rookie season, he threw for 3,801 yards and passed for 22 touchdowns compared to 13 picks. The defense is still pretty dominant because they still have Bill Belichick. The only problem is who's calling the offense. It's Matt Patricia and Joe Judge.
Oh,
Really?
God. That sounds
So you're going to
horrible.
put your hands of the offense with Matt Patricia, who failed as a head coach, who was a former defensive coordinator. Now he's calling the offense.
That makes absolutely no sense.
And then Joe Judge, whose claim to fame last year was running a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9. Need I say more?
So we got Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. I think I'm going to call them Heckle and Jekyll.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Zach. I like that.
I like that too. Both is actually better.
So with that, a sophomore slump is most likely going to happen for Mr. Mac Jones. And as a result, I have the Patriots at 8 and 9.
Uh-huh.
Now, second place. Come on now.
It's on
Fins
your
up,
hat.
baby. Now watch out.
Hands up.
Watch out for us this year. We are stacked. With Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Cedric Wilson, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Durham Smythe. And then on defense, we did not change a thing. Our defense, we didn't change anything at all. And our defense is very underrated. We now have Tyreek Hill in the passing game, which will make defenses have to adjust for his speed. This is a brand new look for us. And with that being said, 11-6 is a safe bet for the Aqua and Orange. Fins up, baby. Oh, yeah.
I agree.
And first place, no surprise, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think that's kind of.
They are a Super Bowl favorite heading into 2022. Matter of fact, did you guys see that NFL Network predicted that the Bills would win the Super Bowl? Every single one of their experts picked
insane.
the Bills to be Super Bowl
Wow.
champions. And I think it could happen.
It could.
Josh Allen and the rest of the offense is on the rise, and they showed their dominance last year. I think 13-4 for the Bills should put it right there. Josh Allen is not only going to get better, he's going to be an MVP candidate for sure. Bet on the Bills to make a deep run in the playoffs and win the AFC East for the third straight year. Tim, what you got?
Well, I say the Jets are going to improve, but not by much. I only see the Jets winning 5 games this year. I see them winning at home against New England, at home against the Bears, at home against the Lions, at home against the Jaguars.
What?
The Jaguars.
And they could probably get a trash win against Miami at Miami, but they'll be it ain't gonna matter to them. It ain't gonna matter to them.
Not gonna matter.
Ain't gonna matter. 5-12, the Dolphins go. I also have the Patriots.
The Jets are gonna go.
The Jets are gonna go 5-12.
Jets are going to go 5-12.
Scared me there for a second, but
I'm sorry, I'm so excited. Our first show of the new season.
No, I
here.
know. We are rebranded.
Yes, rebranded, bigger and better than ever. Anyway, I also have the New England Patriots finishing with 8-9 record. There's going to be a little bit there. Actually, I guess I kind of underestimated the Dolphins. I guess I did because I had them finishing 8-9, tied with New England, but I'm giving the tiebreak to the Dolphins.
8-9. Okay.
So maybe I'm starting to underestimate the potential of the Dolphins, but I will keep my eye on them. And of course, no surprise, first place, nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
That's right.
I got them finishing 12-5, division champs, and they could be a Super Bowl caliber team. We'll just keep our eyes on them for the season. That's what I got.
Nice.
So my turn.
Uh-oh.
New York Jets 5-12, same as Tiny Tim. They'll get some garbage time wins. Zach, the MILF Hunter Wilson, is going to do what he can, but this still will not be enough. I think once they get Mekhi Becton fully healthy next year, they'll probably be more competitive. I just don't see them that this year. 5-12. I have the New England Patriots at 9-8. The problem is, though, I wanted to put 8-9 or 9-8. I'm thinking 9-8 because they'll probably get one late win. Probably, I could probably see them getting a late win if Buffalo rests their starters. I'll talk about Buffalo in a second. I have them finishing first in the entire conference, but the Patriots right now, I think they'll have some decent pieces on offense, but their offense realistically, it doesn't scare many people. You have some decent tight. You have Hunter Henry as your decent tight end, but then your wide receiver core is Jacoby Myers, Devontae Parker, and Nelson Aguilar.
Devontae Parker.
I just don't see how. I really don't. But they'll compete. Their defense is decent enough to keep them in games. But Mac Jones, I think, will regress a little bit. And then the second place team is the Miami Dolphins. I actually going 10-7. I think that they will be a playoff team this year. I definitely could see Dolphins getting one of the last wild card spots. I think that the Dolphins are definitely a very solid team overall. They have a very underrated defense. Their offense has gotten better, and I think that the Dolphins will definitely be in the front running position for at least a playoff berth. I definitely think they'll compete more, and I definitely think they'll have a lot more wins. I like Mike McDaniel offense. I'm excited to see what he'll do this upcoming year.
Oh, yeah.
10-7 for the Dolphins, and then Bills 14-3. I have them finishing number one in the
man.
I have them finishing number one in the entire league record. Actually, yeah, I have them finishing number one in the league at 14-3. I just think that this is the most complete team in football. Their defense is the number one defense. Their offense is top 5. Josh Allen is a MVP caliber quarterback. And I think the Bills pretty much will get a majority of their wins early. And I think the last couple of weeks they take off some time after they clinch up the number 1 seed and get some rest.
All right. Now we get to, in my opinion, the toughest division to pick.
I agree.
And that is the AFC West. Because every single team is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
They got all the stars. Every person on offense, defense, and special teams is pretty much on the AFC West. Starting in last place, I have the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not a fan of Josh McDaniels. I'm not a fan of the Josh McDaniels hire. Just say that. I think he was, he's now at the helm and hopes to bring a stability to an organization that has had too many coaches over the past 20 years.
I agree. They've had a lot of coaches.
Derek Carr led the Vegas Raiders to the playoffs last season for the first time since 2016 and the second time since 2002.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And then the offseason, they made this blockbuster trade by trading for Devontae Adams.
Unreal.
Now Carr and Adams played together at Fresno State and are the next step in the NFL trending of pairing college quarterback and receivers together. The Raiders offense looks to be a juggernaut heading into 2022, and if their defense can hold up, they should improve on their campaign. However, I have them losing one more game than last year. I have the Raiders at 9-8. Third place, I have the Denver Broncos. And, it's going to be interesting because last year they finished last in the AFC West at 7-10, but now they got Danger Russell Wilson, Broncos country. Let's ride. With a talented receiving core, solid running backs, and an improved offensive line, Russell Wilson will not have to run for his life as often as he did the last couple of years in Seattle. I have them finishing at 10-7. Second place, I have the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, they missed the playoffs by one game. All they had to do was tie. They had to do was tie the game, and they didn't. Because Brandon Staley decided to be a dumbass.
They still wouldn't have fared better against the Chiefs.
Nope. Not anywhere. But this past offseason, Tom Telesco displayed a masterclass by adding Khalil Mack, by adding J.C. Jackson, retaining Mike Williams, and then all of those combined, I think they are going to be a stacked team in the AFC. I have them finishing at 11-6. And last but not least, no surprise whatsoever to anybody, I have the Kansas City Chiefs repeating as the AFC West champions. It's really hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But it's going to be interesting to see how they are without Tyreek Hill. Regardless, I still think they have the edge. They have a winning culture and experience. So fans should expect them to continue their success and earn another AFC West championship. 12-5 is my final record for the Chiefs.
All righty then. Well, I too have the Raiders finishing last place. I can see them going probably about 7 wins, 10 losses. Although I'm not really crazy about I'm not really crazy about the McDaniel hire either. I actually have the Chiefs finishing third place in 7-10. I think the loss of Tyreek Hill may hurt them a little bit more than what people think they do. I got the Chiefs and the Raiders finishing at 7-10, but I got the Chiefs in the tiebreak. I'm actually picking the Denver Broncos to finish second place with a record of 9-8. Russell Wilson could do very there and really improve the Broncos there. This may be my surprise pick. I'm actually taking Go Chargers, go! Going with the Chargers for my number one team in the AFC West with a record of 12-5. They are going to. They may be underrated a bit, but I think Justin Herbert can rally those guys around to a division championship here. So I'll be. Yeah. This was a very tough division to pick here, but went through it a couple of times, and this is what I came up with. So
there you go.
There you have it.
So there you
I am going to go up next, and mine's probably the craziest one of them all in regards to the AFC division. Last place is the Denver Broncos. I just do not think they have the offensive capabilities as some of the other teams in the AFC West. I do like the Russell Wilson move to Denver, but the problem is, though, with one of the Broncos losing receivers early on, I think they lost Tim Patrick. That's going to hurt them. And then they have some young guys that are able to help out, but I just don't trust the Broncos offensive line. I think it's a decent offensive line, but I don't think it's that great. And the defense could be a bit better. I just don't think that going against the AFC West 6 times out of the year is really going to hurt Russell Wilson. I think he's not going to be as experienced into it. I think next year they'll make the jump to the playoffs. I just don't think that they're going to make it this year. 9-8 for the Broncos. And this is my boldest prediction yet. The Kansas City Chiefs do not make the playoffs this year.
Wow.
10-7. God. I think they go 10-7 this year. Wow. Their defense is absolutely one of the worst in the league. They just lost Tyrann Mathieu, who was a cornerstone on that defense, and it's really going to hurt them. The Chiefs offense is definitely going to take a hit. You have Travis Kelce, but then after that, who do you have receiver? You have Juju Smith-Schuster, but
Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
He's not that good of a number one receiver, though. Nicole Hardman's all right, but
Sky Moore.
Do you expect these guys to be better, some of the receivers in the AFC West, like the other two teams that I'm going to mention in just a second?
Probably not, but
10-7 for the Chiefs. They just miss out on the playoff berth. They fall in the last week of the season to miss the playoffs. I'm sorry. It's about time that the Chiefs miss the playoffs, and I think this is the year to do it. Next up, I have the Raiders actually making the playoffs as the final wildcard team at 11-6.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did their defense get slightly better, but their offense got better with Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams' hire is definitely one of the best things. They have a top 3 tight end in the league in Darren Waller, and Derek Carr is definitely going to improve, especially having Davante Adams around. But if the Raiders could win 10 games without Davante Adams, they can at least get another one in this competitive AFC West. I think that the Raiders will make the playoffs once again. Their defense is also extremely underrated, with Max Crosby leading the way. Mad Max. I think they go 11-6. And then finally, my pick for the second team that will win the number 2 seed in the AFC West, the AFC, the Los Angeles Chargers. Gold Chargers go. Get the second seed in the AFC this year. I think their offense is extremely fantastic. Not only do you have Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, you also have some really good offense, especially with Austin Eckler, who no one's mentioned yet. Austin Eckler has not been mentioned yet, and I really like Austin Eckler. Justin Herbert will finally make the playoffs this year, and he will definitely be heard to be a very solid quarterback overall. I think that the Chargers defense also got better with J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack helping out, and I think that they will go 13-4, just under the Bills for the one of the top records in the league. So, do you want to go over the standings for the AFC before going to the NFC?
Yes. Who do you have as 1 through 7?
My 1 through 7 are as follows. I have the number 1 seed going into the Buffalo Bills at 14-3. 2 seed going to the Chargers at 13-4. 3 seed going to the Cincinnati Bengals at 12-5, and 4 seed going to the Indianapolis Colts at 12-5. I have the 5th seed being the Steelers. I think that they surprise everyone, make the playoffs this year. 5th seed Steelers. Yes, 11-6. 6th seed Miami Dolphins at 11-6, and then finally the Las Vegas Raiders as the 7th seed at 11-6 as well. The Chiefs and Titans both failed to make the playoffs after being some of the top teams last year. Bam!
Okay.
How do you like that?
I like them apples.
Nice. Well, take a look at my seedings after I did some. After I went through all the teams in the AFC, how I came up with this. I have my number 1 seed, the Baltimore Ravens, 13-4. My number 2 seed, the LA Chargers, 12-5. They will actually break a tiebreaker with the Buffalo Bills, who I got as my 3rd seed with a record of 12-5. My 4th seed is the Indianapolis Colts with a record of 10-7. 5th seed is Cincinnati Bengals, 10-7. 6th seed Denver Broncos, 9-8. And I think somebody's going to like to hear this. Number 7 seed Fins Up, 8-9.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yep, that's what I
Fins
got.
up, baby. Okay.
What do you got, Alex?
Number 1 seed, Buffalo Bills, 13-4. Number 2 seed, Kansas City Chiefs, 12-5. 3 seed, Baltimore Ravens, also 12-5. 4th seed, Indianapolis Colts, 11-6. Wild card teams. Wild card team number 1, Cincinnati Bengals at 11-6. Wild card team number 2, which would be the 6th seed, the Los Angeles Chargers, also at 11-6. And rounding them out, 7th seed at also 11-6. Fins up, baby!
Here's that.
Hell
The
yeah.
Miami Dolphins.
Hell yeah, Dolphins are making it in.
I hope.
Yep.
All
I
of us
hope.
got-
Now let's do the NFC.
Ooh.
Yep.
Now let's do the NFC. We're going to go in reverse order this time. We're going to
I will
go
go
from
first.
first to last.
Okay. I like it.
Lucas, who do you have winning the AFC or NFC North?
NFC North, I have the Packers, but I just don't think they will be the same team offensively if they've been the past few years. I think Christian Watson for the Packers will definitely be a decent receiver. I think he'll definitely be underrated. But as a number 1, though, it's going to take time for him to develop that chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. 11-6 for the Packers. I just don't see their defense will be great, but their offense will definitely be have something left to be desired, even with Aaron Jones coming back. The Minnesota Vikings up next at 9-8. I think that this team will be the very last team to clinch a playoff berth this entire year. Their offense will do just enough to get through, especially with Dalvin Cook being healthy out the whole year. I think that the Vikings will definitely be a playoff contender, and they'll barely get that 7th seed. And then the next up, I have the Detroit Lions in 3rd place. I think that this team will be a 7-win team this year.
Wow.
I like Dan Campbell as a head coach, and right now Dan Campbell is going to be a very solid coach. I think he will definitely lead his Lions to a impressive record. They're just a few years away from being the NFC North champions, which I think will happen within Dan Campbell's time, but I just don't think that they're there yet. 7-10, I think they will definitely play better. Their defense has definitely improved a little bit, and their offense will definitely be better as well, especially getting DJ Shark and many others. Oh, God. Not that song.
You said it, dude.
I said DJ Shark.
I
said DJ Shark.
I know.
Anyways, and then last but not least, the Chicago Bears are 5-12. This may be one of the worst teams in the league. The offense is going to be terrible. And I will say this. I thought the Bears offense, like wide receiver core, was worse than the Ravens, but at least Darnell Mooney had a 1,000-yard season. So, yeah, I think that the Bears will go 5-12, and they will trade everybody by the deadline after realizing the season's completely lost. Sorry, good Judah Tribe. Your team's going to suck once again.
Who?
Judah, the guy I feuded with last year. He was the Bears fan. Judah Tribe. My better hate weeks last year.
Okay. Mr. Tim.
This should be no surprise to anyone. number one team, the division winner, in my opinion, for the NFC North will of course be the Green Bay Packers. I got them finishing with at least 12 wins.
Is it
At
because of
least
that bad
bad
man?
man. Which I do believe this will probably be his final year either in the league or in Green Bay. I don't know, but I think the end is near for that bad man.
It is near.
Eventually.
Then my second place team, I got them finishing with at least 11 wins. I got the Minnesota Vikings.
Hell yeah.
Not gonna tip my hat to them that Justin Jefferson is one talented receiver that they got on that team. I will say that.
Oh my gosh. Double J.
Yeah,
Not
Justin
Jeff
Jefferson. And then of course you got that great receiver Adam hooked on a Thielen.
That's right.
Then for third place, I got the Chicago Bears. I only see them winning 4 games this year.
Ooh, only 4. Wow.
Yeah, I can see them winning at Detroit. No, home against Detroit, then at Atlanta, then at Detroit, and earlier in the season I got them winning at home against Houston. and I got wait a minute, hold up a second. I had 4 and 13. Yeah, which means I got this. I think I got this all wrong. I could probably get the Bears and the Lions. I originally had the Lions going 5 and 12. I mean, the Lions could win about 5 games right there, but it'll probably be a battle for third and fourth place finishers between Chicago and Detroit for the bottom end, and a battle with Packers and the Vikings for the top end. But I got the Packers taking that particular division right there.
All right. So I'm in agreement with everybody here. Packers win the NFC North once again. I have them at 11 and 6. It's going to be interesting to see how they do without Devontae Adams, but they have Alan Lazard, they have Sammy Watkins, they have Randall Cobb, and then they have Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. So I think that receiving core will get them enough. Plus, they have Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, one of the most underrated running back 1-2 punches in the NFL. So I agree with you guys at 11 and 6. Minnesota Vikings are in second, and I agree. I have them at 9 and 8 as well. The only positive thing from last year was that they had the second most sacks in the NFL behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think they will improve on that with Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen and Kirk Cousins. They should be able to pull something together, especially with the new head coach in Kevin O'Connell, who is an offensive guy, not a defensive guy like Mike Zimmer was. So I have them at 9 and 8. The Detroit Lions are in third place, and I have them also at 7 and 10. So I am in agreement with you, Tiny Tim. Amon-Ra St. Brown is easily becoming one of the best, one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL, and DeAndre Swift, one of the most underrated running backs in the NFL. Only problem, though, is that they have Jared Goff, who I think he's not really that. He's a good game manager, but as like a starter, like starting caliber guy, I don't see it happening for them anytime soon. So 7 and 10 for the Lions. And then last but not least, the Chicago Bears. I have them at 6 and 11. I'm giving them one more win than they did last year. I think their defense will carry them to any wins they get in 2022. 6 and 11 for the Bears.
Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
NFC South.
Ooh, okay.
Who you got?
I think this one should be no surprise as the division winner. It's Tampa Brady's last year in Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers will win the division by default. Let's be real here. The NFC South is the easiest division to pick this year. As long as Tom Brady's the quarterback there, like you're expecting at least a division title every year. The Buccaneers offense won't be as good it's been in the past. It will definitely not be as good this year. I think losing Ryan Jensen very early in the training camp definitely is going to hurt their offensive line. I still think that the receiving corps will do well, but I think Tom Brady's going to do fine. I think he's going to have like a type of year where he's going to have like okay numbers, but he's not going to be world breaking numbers. He's not going to have that great year. Father Time is finally going to catch up to Tom Brady. 12-5, though. I think they're a respectable team. I think they will do better than the Packers in regards to the division standings. I just don't see him getting too much further than that. Saints, I have at 8-9. I think that the Saints, under new head coach Dennis Allen, will be an interesting and fun team to watch. They do have wide receiver Chris Olave that they just drafted. Michael Thomas is coming back. So this offense could definitely scare some people. And Alvin Kamara, even though he's missing some time with that suspension that he's got looming on, I think that the Saints offense will definitely be a fun offense to watch. I just don't know if their defense will be as good as it's been in the past. It has some good pieces, but still, I think that the Saints will be 8-9. I just don't see them as a playoff team this year. I don't see famous Jameis eating those W's as he did in the past. So 8-9 for the Saints. And then I think these two will be in front runners as some of the worst teams in the entire league this year. First up is the Falcons at 4-13.
Really?
Yeah, I think the Falcons will finish one better than the Panthers. Spoiler alert, the Panthers are going to be 3-14. Reason why, I just think that the Falcons have Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson, which is definitely better than what the Panthers got. And I think Marcus Mariota will do okay. I think he'll do okay, but then I think Desmond Ridder comes in halfway through the season, gets 2 late wins, including the Buccaneers resting their starters because they will lock up at least. I think they'll at least lock up the 2 seed, and I don't think that they'll play for anything else. And I think they'll bench the players, and I think Desmond Ridder will have a good show opening that Week 18 game and will give the Falcons some hope going into next year. 4-13 for the Falcons, and then the Panthers at 3-14. I think that the Panthers will still be a really terrible team. I think Matt Rule's time has come. I just don't trust his offensive system. I just do not think he can manage defenses. The Panthers do not have any bit of a good defense whatsoever. They'll get that Week 1 opening win, which I'll be extremely happy about. They're going to lose about 9 or 10 in a row. I just don't see this team winning that much. Baker Mayfield's all right. He'll do what he can to get the job, try and get a win, but it's not Cleveland. The offensive line is nowhere near the same. Christian McCaffrey is a great running back, but he's no Nick Chubb. So I'm just saying that the Panthers will go 3-14 and will be in contention for the number 1 draft, or at least contention for the number 1 draft pick, other than one team. And I think they're definitely going to get a quarterback for next year because Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are not the answer. I think the answer is next year in the draft because you got CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Whoever is the top 2 in the draft, that's who you're going to get a quarterback. That's all I got to say about the NFC South.
There we go.
Well, I've got Tampa Bay finishing first place with at least 12 wins. As long as Tom Brady is under center, he's a good quarterback. But yeah, athletes could never defeat Father Time, and it's going to be creeping up on him. It'll be creeping up on him pretty soon. He'll be 45 years old starting as a quarterback.
Yeah, that just is not a good recipe for success.
I have New Orleans Saints finishing at 10-7 and finishing second place in the division. Atlanta Falcons, they're pretty much dumpster fire. I got them at least 13-3.
Or 3-13.
Yeah,
3-13. 3-14. Because it's 17 games right now, Tony.
Right.
So 3-14.
3-14 or maybe 4-13, maybe. And I could have the Carolina Panthers finishing maybe 1 loss worse than the Falcons. I see Carolina at the bottom of the pack. So, I got Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina.
All right. First place for the South for me is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last season, the Bucs ranked number 1 in total passing offense and touchdowns. They were second in rushing and overall finished second most points scored in the NFL. The addition of Julio Jones in the passing game will only improve the best offense in the NFL. Tom Brady is back again. What a surprise. Even though he celebrated his 45th birthday and hasn't missed a beat. Over 5,000 passing yards last year, and he was sacked the least amount of times due to an amazing offensive line. And I think this year, the Bucs really don't have that much competition this season, as the rest of the AFC South has
NFC.
NFC.
You said
NFC.
thank you. There we go.
NFC South will have their own struggles to deal with. They should have the best record in the NFL, or at least a tie for the best, heading into a deep playoff run. 13-4 is my record for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Second place, we have the New Orleans Saints. Now, New Orleans had an interesting season last year, filled with quarterback changes and a rare worst passing attack in the NFL. They were carried by their defense last year that ranked 4th overall and number 1 in red zone defense. With the evolution of the game heading towards more of a pass-heavy style, New Orleans is far behind. Jameis Winston is their man for now. Alvin Kamara should have a solid season. It's going to be interesting to see how their offensive line is because considering that Teron Armstead is now with the Miami Dolphins.
That's right.
Is Trevor Penning a suitable replacement? Him getting into fights with everybody in practice? That remains to be seen.
I saw that.
If Michael Thomas returns for the offense, the passing game will be better, but don't expect them to be top 5 right away. I have them at 9-8, where they stand against a very tough schedule. Now, third place, we have the Carolina Panthers. And the Panthers will have to choose. Well, actually, it's Baker Mayfield time. It's Baker Mayfield's time. And it's going it's Baker Mayfield's time because Sam Darnold is on injured reserve, I believe, right?
He's hurt for a few weeks. I don't think he's injured reserve.
They have a great passing They had a great passing defense last year, but they gave up too many points to improve up upon a 5-12 record. This is exactly the prediction this year I have for last year, and that is the Panthers also finishing with a record of 5-12.
Oof.
Last but not least, the Atlanta Falcons. And the Falcons are in trouble. They lost their franchise quarterback to trade. They traded him to the Colts. Or was he a free agent? Was Matt Ryan a free agent or was he traded?
Free agent. So he was traded. That's right. He was
traded. And already they have to rely on Marcus Mariota as their week 1 starter. He hasn't started a game since 2019. That should say it right there. When he was a member of the Tennessee Titans. Calvin Ridley is suspended for gambling, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, he's DraftKings of all things.
So they have to rely on first-round pick Drake London and last year's first-round pick in Kyle Pitts. And I expect a quarterback change midway through the season as Desmond Ridder. I don't know if you guys saw him in preseason, but he looks really good. He
does look good. I'm not going to lie. He does look good.
If the Falcons struggle early, which I am predicting, look for Ridder to come in and try to rebound a team to a better showing. But regardless, I have them at 3-14.
Ooh.
I don't see the Falcons doing anything. NFC West.
NFC West. Ooh, okay. NFC West, I have the Los Angeles Rams being the number 1 team in the NFC at 13-4. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. Even though Aaron Donald wants to go full Super Saiyan mode and just be like wielding 2 helmets at the same time, just wanting to smash people's heads in. I think it's personally hilarious. I love it, to say the least, that Aaron Donald has become a much stronger version of Myles Garrett. Now, let's get one battle between Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald with just helmets and see who wins. And then they could just both clash the helmets together, and that'd be amazing. I would loved every bit of that. Yes, they did. I just saw it, Zach. I was just saw that. So yeah, Nationals blew a 5-1 lead, thank God. The 49ers, sorry, before I go into 49ers, the Rams did add Allen Robinson, who was on the Bears last year, who definitely will be an interesting replacement for Robert Woods. And I think that the Rams will be a front runner for having the best defense in the league. They're probably the second best defense other than Buffalo. I think that they will win 13 games and be the number one team in the NFC West. I just don't think that they are better than the Bills, but I think they're the best team in the NFC by far, other than Tampa. And then the 49ers, I have them actually at 11-6, making a playoff berth. Reason why? Trey Lance actually proves everyone wrong and becomes a fantastic quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Don't let his play fool you from last year. Trey Lance has been a very good overall quarterback when the situations come forward. He went undefeated at North Dakota State, for God's sakes. He didn't lose a single game. He didn't throw a single interception. That's insane. Now, I think that I really want to see how Trey Lance does with this 49ers defense. All he does, just like Mitch Trubisky, just has to be a game manager. He doesn't have to do anything spectacular. He has more athletic ability than Mr. Trubisky, but he doesn't have to do anything spectacular. Just be a good game manager. Don't fuck up.
Right.
Just like one of my old referees I work with, says, don't fuck it up. That's all he needs to do. Don't fuck it up. Exactly. Just don't do that. If you don't F it up, the 49ers win 11 games easily. If they do, if he does mess up, I think they win 7 games. But this defense alone, the 49ers defense is very scary, and the 49ers have a top 5 offensive line in the league. So expect the 49ers to be an absolute fantastic team overall. And I definitely think they could definitely go on another deep playoff run. 11-6. Cardinals at 9-8 is up next. And not having DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 games is going to be troubling. That is going to really hurt. And the Cardinals will have some good talent on offense, but one thing that's crazy, though, is you got Marquise Brown, which I did not expect to happen. I know you got rid of Christian Kirk, but Marquise Brown is definitely an upgrade over Christian Kirk. I definitely think that he will fit well in Arizona's offense, and he'll be a good number 2 once DeAndre Hopkins comes back. I'm excited to see what happens with Marquise Brown and the Arizona Cardinals. And James Conner, even though he does not have Chase Edmonds there to form that good running attack, he'll still be a fantastic running back for the Cardinals. I just don't think that the defense is going to hold up very well. Losing Chandler Jones is going to be huge for the Cardinals. That's really going to hurt them. 9-8 for the Cardinals. They just fall short of making the playoffs behind the Minnesota Vikings. And it'll just be like the one time when Arizona screwed Minnesota out of a playoff berth. This time, I think it'll be the opposite effect. I think the Cardinals will get screwed by the Vikings in the very end, and the Vikings will clinch the playoff berth. And then you'll hear the Arizona Cardinals play-by-guy go, "No! Touchdown Vikings! No! 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 Unbelievable!
Not again!
Not again!
Not again!
I'm sorry. I was sorry. I love that. No! They'll be like that. And then the worst team in the NFL by far. I think this will be the number 1 pick. I think this is the CJ Stroud winner, and that is the Seattle Seahawks. 2-15 for the Seahawks.
Ouch.
Wow.
I think the Seahawks will be the worst team in the NFL this year. Geno Smith and Drew Lock are your quarterbacks. Good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
You're going to be great under them. The only thing you have that's positive Seattle for you, other than the marijuana and Starbucks coffee, is DK Metcalf.
And the salmon.
Don't get the salmon.
You can't discount Tyler Lockett.
Oh, that
you can't, but
Jamal Adams.
Other than that, who do you have for the Seahawks that actually scares people?
Jamal Adams.
Well, Jamal Adams, he got owned last year with the Steelers. Remember when he said he was the best safety in the league in that Sunday night game against the Steelers? And he got absolutely
cooked.
He got cooked last year.
Yeah.
So I think that the Seahawks will be 2-15. They're going to be absolutely terrible. Seattle's definitely worse than Houston, New York Giants, Jacksonville, Detroit, and Atlanta. I think so. At least the Falcons do have a better quarterback. The The Texans have a better quarterback. I would definitely take Davis long neck Dinosaur Mills over Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Yeah, because he has that. No, he's like that brontosaur, that long neck dinosaur. He has the longest neck in the NFL. So,
Seahawks. A dinosaur?
Dude, if you look at Davis Mills, if you've seen the memes, he definitely looks like a brontosaurus with that long ass neck of his. 2-15 Seahawks. Let's move on.
Tim?
All right.
What about the West?
I've got the Rams taking the West with a record of 11-6. Nice. I have the 49ers finishing with maybe a record of 10-7. Arizona Cardinals probably at least 6 wins for them.
Ooh, 6 wins! Wow.
And at 3-14, I got the Seahawks. Like I said, the Seahawks were the most disappointing team last year. They'll disappoint again this year. That's my NFC West.
All right. Well, first place, no surprise to anybody whatsoever. The reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion, the Los Angeles Rams. And they shook up their roster this offseason by replacing Robert Woods with Allen Robinson and Von Miller with Bobby Wagner.
That's right.
There's plenty of reason to believe that this will be an elite offense paired with one of, if not the best defenses in 2022. Combine that with excellent coaching, and the Rams should have enough to edge out the 49ers and the Cardinals. 12-5 for the Los Angeles Rams. San Francisco 49ers are in second place, and the 49ers are a risk-reward team. If Trey Lance lives up to potential and unlocks a version of Kyle Shanahan's offense we haven't seen before, the 49ers will win the NFC. It's just far from a guarantee, especially with reports on Trey Lance, on how he's been, and then with Jimmy Garoppolo coming back, we all don't know what the hell's going to happen. Right. But they still have George Kittle. They still have Fred Warner. They still have a lot of pieces to build on. 10-7 is my record for the 49ers.
Hold on, Alex, before you go any further. Mother Nature is calling me. So if you get done before I get back, you just hand it over to LC.
All right, take care of that.
I'll be right back.
All right. Third place, I got the Arizona Cardinals. And we've seen the Arizona Cardinals look like the best team in the NFL at times. But unfortunately, the second half of the season exists.
Yes, it does.
Kyler Murray isn't the real issue in Arizona, but this team always seems to fall apart without DeAndre Hopkins, and stale play calling makes things worse late in the year. With Hopkins suspended, early season struggles might prove costly in the playoff race. This isn't to knock Kyler Murray or anything, and his new contract with his incentives that he has to do his homework before he plays his Xbox.
I have one question, though. Is Kyler Murray bigger than a fifth grader?
Is he smarter than a fifth grader? Who knows?
Bigger,
yes. Smarter? That remains to be seen.
Oh,
should have stuck with baseball. But his talent is undeniable. The red flags defensively and with Cliff Kingsbury are what put Arizona far behind in competition for the NFC West. My prediction for the Arizona Cardinals, 8-9.
All right, so one game off of me.
And last but not least, no surprise, is the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Russell Wilson is now in Denver, and Seattle is left with some serious question marks at quarterback. Geno Smith, Drew Lock. Really? That's who you're going to roll with? This is going to be a rough year for the Seahawks. I think this will be Pete Carroll's last as the head coach.
I think so too.
And I feel better betting on them to win the number 1 overall pick than I do with them winning the NFC West. So my record for them, 3-14 for the Seattle Seahawks.
Damn.
3-14.
Wow.
Now let's go to Mr. Tim's division, and that is the NFC East.
The NFC East.
Or as we like to call it, the least.
Least.
Oh yeah.
So one thing before we go in the NFC East, though, I know A-Bomb's definitely going to wonder, though, if
A-Bomb!
Going to be Garbaggio is going to be starting at any point. No, he won't. Just I know A-Bomb's going
Never
to
know.
want Trey Lance to be in the whole year and not Jimmy Garbaggio. Yeah, don't worry, A-Bomb. I'm on the same boat. I do not want Jimmy Garbaggio.
I think it might happen. It might happen.
Hope to God not. Trey Lance better pay off, though. But anyways, going into this, though, we got the first thing is the Philadelphia Eagles. I have them winning the division at 11-6. I think that this will be... Yeah, the Eagles will definitely be better this year than many people give them credit for. Jalen Hurts, I think, is ready to take over his team. A.J. Brown getting him was a fantastic play. Absolutely fantastic play. And I think that the Eagles will do very well with A.J. Brown. Their offense will be very, very good. I think this will be a very high-powered offense with Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown on the receiving end, Dallas Goedert, and then you have Miles Sanders. Pretty much a Hydra type offense. Pretty much, you really can't. Once you cut off one head, you're going to have another head replace it. So, Eagles 11-6, they win the division without a problem. And the Dallas Cowboys are my second place team, but I did update there. I did think that they are going to be a good team. I just don't think that their record is going to reflect that just very yet. I think they will clinch a playoff berth. I think they'll be one of the last teams to clinch a playoff berth. But their record is going to be a little worse. 9-8, I think they clinch one of the playoff berths. But losing Tyron Smith for most of the year is going to really
that's going to be rough.
them.
That's going to be
rough, though. They do have Dak Prescott, Ezekiel, and many others, but the problem is the Cowboys just don't have one of the things that they need in order to really be good, and that's the offensive line. The offensive line is really going to struggle for the first 2 weeks. Zeke gotta eat, exactly. But I think they finished 9-8, respectable, and I think they'll make the playoffs barely because the NFC this year, it's nowhere near as competitive as the AFC. But I think the Cowboys will get in at 9-8. Commanders, I have them at 7-10. I think that the Commanders. Well, the thing is, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm not going to call them the Commanders. They're still the Washington Redskins for me. Damn it. Hello, Aaron. How you doing? But back into the Washington Redskins. Yeah, I'm not calling the Commanders. That name's stupid as hell. The Washington Redskins will do what it takes to get themselves at least some solid wins. I think their defense will definitely get back to form somewhat. I think that Jahan Dotson will be a good complement for Carson Wentz. And I think that J.D. McKissick and Antonio Gibson will be a good 1-2 punch for the Washington Redskins duo in regards to run game. 7-10. Their team slightly improves, but I think Ron Rivera still gets another year. He's on me on the hot seat going the next year, that's for sure. I just don't think that the Carson Wentz experiment will last more than a few years there. And then finally, my worst team in the NFC least is the New York Giants.
What?
I'm serious. I think that they're still going to be a terrible team. Who on the Giants actually scares you? I think other than the Ravens, the Giants have one of the worst receiving depths in the league. You have Kenny Galladay, but other than that, who do you really have to throw the ball to for Daniel Jones?
Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius Toney's all right, but
Wan'Dale Robinson.
I don't see him really as that much of a threat compared to
Sterling Shepard. Is he still there?
I think he is, but he's definitely lower on the depth chart. But still,
Saquon
Barkley's good, but the Giants will be rebuilding. Brian Dable's going to see what he got. He's going to definitely bench Daniel Jones at some point, and they're going to want to get a quarterback next year. They'll definitely be in the market for a quarterback in the free agency next year. So 4-13 for the Giants. I actually got to get something on my chart. My computer's about to run low, so give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Tim, what you got for the East?
Okay, well, you and LC and everybody's not going to believe this.
Oh.
This, of course, is my division, so I had to look this really good. Yeah.
Oh.
The NFC East, yeah. I'm going to be shocking everybody with this one. But I can actually see those filthy Philadelphia chickens winning the division.
Yep.
With at least 12 wins on the season right here. I do have my Cowboys finishing at least 10-6, maybe 11-5. Yeah, we lost a great receiver in Amari Cooper, a great young receiver in Cedric Wilson, Tyron Smith, our offensive lineman. He's going to be out for a few months. We got this guy Tyler Smith that we drafted earlier this year, kind of throwing him out the frying pan right into the fire. But I trust the defense, especially the man whose jersey I'm wearing tonight. Last year's NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, Michael
Parsons.
Yeah, I see him stepping up again. What does he do for an encore? I think he'd be doing. And of course, we still got Trayvon Diggs. I don't know how many interceptions he's going to be getting this year. The one defensive player that I'm really got to keep my eye on is of course the tank, Demarcus Lawrence. He's got to really step it up this year, or else he may be playing somewhere else after this season. I don't know, but he's kind of slipped off a little bit, but I could probably see him making it up again. So, third place team, I've got the Washington Commanders, with at least 5 wins, maybe 6. I don't know. And the New York Giants, I got them in last place with 6-11. Change in management, changes in the front office maybe, and I think a change of head coach that could do the Giants good. I don't see them really being spectacular this year, but this could be a slow start to something good for the Giants. But unfortunately, this will not be the year. So I've got the Chickens first place, Cowboys second, Commanders third, Giants fourth.
Same as me.
That's interesting. All right. My first place team is also the Philadelphia
Chickens.
Yes, yeah.
They're making strides to be one of the best teams in the division. Even though their defense was middle of the pack in 2021, their offense made up for it. Jalen Hurts had a great sophomore campaign, passing for 3,144 yards and 16 touchdowns. The Eagles will rely on their running game again in 2022. Last year, they ran for the most yards in the league and had the most touchdowns on the ground. The only team that tied running the ball more was the Tennessee Titans, and I believe the Eagles are one of the best young teams in the game this season. A playoff spot is definitely in their future, and if they play their cards right, they could be looking at the division title, which I think they will be. Give me the Eagles to win the NFC East 11-6. Now, second place, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Now, can Dallas end the streak and win a second straight divisional title? Because I don't know if you guys know about this. There's never been a repeat champion in the NFC East in a while.
That's right.
In a long time.
I think
last time was the Eagles.
Was it 2008 last time?
I believe so.
It's been a while. Yeah, definitely.
I believe so. The odds say yes, but I think they might just come a little bit short. They have some good company at the top, but they should feel good about their position heading into 2022, having Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott leading the charge on offense. And on defense, you got young studs like Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. Led the team to being the 7th best defense in the NFL in 2021. Now, this is going to be interesting because I have them both finishing at 11-6, but I think the Eagles get the tiebreaker. So I have the Dallas Cowboys finishing in second place with also a record of 11-6. Now, in third place, we have the Washington Commanders. This is the first year as the Washington Commanders, and it's not looking to be one to remember. They do have one of the easiest schedules, but almost all of their money is gone due to the signing of Carson Wentz. Wentz did all right last year with the Colts, throwing for 3,500 yards and 27 touchdowns, limiting his interceptions to just 7, which is tied for the lowest in his career. But here's the issue. The Commanders only have the 15th best offensive line, and with Wentz's history of injuries, I don't see them winning more than 5 to 7 games. They will be very average at best, middle of the pack in almost every single category. Third place is a safe bet for the Commanders, 7-10. Now in last place, should be no surprise to anybody whatsoever, and that is the New York Football Giants. And they have been bad for a while now. They haven't had a winning season since 2016.
The last time was that boat photo. That boat photo.
They haven't had more than 7 wins in a season since 2016.
That's unreal.
The Giants ranked in the bottom half of every major category on offense in 2021. They gave up the fourth worst. That gave them the 4th worst offense in the league. They recorded just 5 receiving touchdowns by receivers last year.
That's insane.
Just 5.
Yeah,
that's hilarious and also sad at the same time.
Right.
They also turned the ball over 30 times. However, with first-round picks, Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal, I think they will improve the lines both on offense and defense. They finished 4-13 last year, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and boost them up to 5-12.
So you guys
go.
want to go overseas before we go into playoff pick predictions?
Yes.
My
Let's
NFC is going to be as follows. Rams number 1 seed at 13-4, Buccaneers 2 seed at 12-5, Philadelphia Eagles seed at 3 seed at 11-6, and 4 seed is the Packers at 11-6 as well. And then we have the 5th seed is the San Francisco 49ers at 11-6. I think that they will like a lot of 11-6s here, I know, but it will change in just a second. Cowboys at the 6th seed at 9-8, and Vikings at the 7th seed at 9-8.
Okay, I got my number 1 seed in the NFC. I got that as Tampa Bay, 13-4. They will finish the same record with Green Bay, but Tampa Bay will get the tie break, so Green Bay will take number 2. Number 3 will be the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 4 will be the Los Angeles Rams. A 5 seed is Cowboys at 11-6. They'll have the tiebreaker over Minnesota, which will finish with the 6th seed. And my number 7 seed is going to be kind of a shocker. Number 7 seed, New Orleans Saints.
Oh,
I like it.
interesting. Now, first number 1 seed, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 13-4. Second seed, I have the Los Angeles Rams at 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
Third seed is the Green Bay Packers at 11-6. 4th seed is the Philadelphia Eagles, also at 11-6. 5th seed, first wild card, is the Dallas Cowboys at 11-6.
Right.
6th seed, the San Francisco 49ers at 10-7. And then last place, or the last wild card spot, 7th seed will be the Minnesota Vikings at 9-8.
Uh-huh.
And there we go.
Playoffs time?
Time to predict some playoffs. Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Talking about playoffs? I just
Yeah.
hope they can win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So who wants to go first on this one?
Well,
That's Tim.
mine is pretty simple here.
Let Tim go.
All right, let's hear it, Ty and Tim.
Well, mine's pretty simple. I didn't actually go through all the playoffs, but what I have is 2 teams for each conference that will be playing for us on the Super Bowl.
Oh.
I've actually got the Rams hosting against the Green Bay Packers. I think the Packers will make it interesting, but I think the Rams will repeat as NFC champions. Over in the AFC, I see a slugfest between the Bills and the Ravens,
Oh,
but I actually see. I think I actually see the Bills actually taking down the Ravens in that one. So my Super Bowl teams will be the Rams and the Bills,
Rematch
and
it
I'm going
tomorrow.
to. And I actually believe that the Rams could go all the way and win another Super Bowl, win back to backs. First time in quite some time.
I like it.
Haven't had a repeat Super Bowl champion since the Patriots a while back.
That's right.
So,
I like it.
I guess I'm going with the Rams as my Super Bowl winner here.
Sick. All right. I guess I'll go next.
Yep, go
That's
next.
all right. So I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna predict how I think things are gonna go in the playoffs. So we're gonna start with AFC. We have the 7th seed Miami Dolphins facing the 2nd seed Kansas City Chiefs. That's a Chiefs dub. It was fun while it lasted. I really want to win a playoff game this year. It's probably not going to happen. Chiefs move on. Then Chargers face the Ravens. I have the Chargers moving on, beating the Baltimore Ravens, moving on to the divisional round.
Thank God.
Then the Colts and the Bengals. I have the Colts. Actually, I'm sorry. I have the Bengals moving on, beating the Indianapolis Colts. So it's going to be the Chargers versus the Bills. And then the Bengals versus the what the hell did I say? Oh shit!
So your Bills and
that's the spot.
Chargers and Bengals and Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Bengals and Chiefs.
And that I have the wait. What about the Ravens though? Forgot.
You said the Ravens lost to the Chargers.
Did I? Did I really?
Yes, you did. You just said Chargers lose to the Ravens and the
Switch that. Reverse it. Thank you. Ravens beat the Chargers. My apologies. My apologies. I'm sorry. I messed up. My apologies. I'm sorry. It's hard because this
That's
prediction.
okay. That's okay. We're good.
Stick with it. All right. Ravens and so it's Ravens and Bengals, right?
Yeah.
No, Bengals, Bills,
Bengals,
Ravens,
Bills,
Chiefs. There we go. Ravens beat the Chiefs. Bills beat Bengals. AFC Championship. I have the Bills versus the Ravens, and I have the Ravens moving on to the Super Bowl. Ravens represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Now, for the NFC, we have the 2nd seed Rams versus the 7th seed Vikings. And for that match, I have the Rams moving on. Packers versus 49ers in Lambeau. Repeat. It's going to happen again. San Francisco beats the beats the Packers. San Francisco beats the Packers. And then for the 3rd time in the year, we get Eagles versus Cowboys. And I have the Cowboys moving on. Moving on to the divisional round. Now, it's going to be the 49ers versus the Buccaneers. And I have the Buccaneers moving on. And then the Cowboys versus the Rams. I have the Rams moving on. So the NFC Championship, in my eyes, will be the Buccaneers versus the Rams. And I have the Buccaneers moving on. The Super Bowl this year I have being the Ravens versus the Bucs.
Wow.
And for the 8th time, Tom Brady gets his ring. Tom Brady rides off into the sunset. I have them winning the Super Bowl. Fire the cannons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mine's a little freaking crazy. So you guys ready to hear my playoffs?
Steelers win.
No, not that. No,
Steelers
we're not
win.
getting. That's not going to happen. Not
Steelers win.
No. Shut up. Let me speak. All right. So we're good now. All right, we're good. I just had to get my charger for a second from my phone because everything wants to be charged now. My phone, my freaking everything needs to be charged. Anyways, AFC wild card, Steelers and Colts. I have the Steelers winning, but Shut up. Give me a second. I'll explain why in a second. The Colts and Steelers. This will be a rematch of one of the matchups in Week 11. It'll be the Monday night game, and I think the Steelers repeat the same success. And Matt Ryan will go into the January. Is in Indianapolis going fuck? As he always. 2 versus 7 now between the Chargers and Dolphins. I actually have the Chargers winning this one. I'm sorry, Alex. They got to the ride, but the Chargers. It's hard to beat that Charger team, especially in Los Angeles. Go Chargers, go! Even though both teams don't the Chargers don't have the best home fan base, they'll have enough for that playoff game and they'll win. Then finally, the Raiders and Bengals. This will be a rematch, but this time it'll be in Las Vegas. I have the Raiders moving on and ending the Bengals Super Bowl, ending their chance to go back to the Super Bowl. Their season will be over in Las Vegas. I think the Raiders beat the Bengals, and then the NFC wild card, just like you have a rematch, 49ers and Packers, and the same result will happen once again. The 49ers will end the Packers season and end Aaron Rodgers' career.
You'll love to see it.
Yep, love to see it. Buccaneers will defeat the Vikings 2 versus 7. Buccaneers will defeat the Vikings easily. It'll be another rematch. It'll be like the same as that wild card game last year where the Eagles got crushed by the Buccaneers, but expect to be much worse. But at least Kevin O'Connell will at least do something for the Vikings getting to the playoffs this year, so at least it's somewhat of a success.
Let's hope.
And then the Eagles defeating the Cowboys, just like you, Alex. I also had the Eagles. You said you had Cowboys.
I said the Cowboys being the Eagles.
That's right. You said the Cowboys will be the Eagles. I actually have the Eagles being the Cowboys this time around. It will be the third time, and it will be in Philly, and the Eagles will win. AFC divisional round time. I have the Bills as the 1 seed facing the Raiders as the as the 6th seed. I'm sorry. They have them as the 6th seed. Yep. It's 7. It's the 7th seed. The Raiders will be the 7th. No, not the 7th seed. The 6th seed. The Raiders will be the 6th seed. They'll play the Bills, but the Bills will win. I just do not expect the Bills to lose, especially coming off a bye. And then Steelers against the Chargers. Call me crazy, but I have the Steelers winning in Los Angeles.
Oh my God!
But there's a reason why I say that in just a bit, and I'll get to the AFC Championship. No, I'm not picking the Steelers to go to the Super Bowl. Shut the hell up. I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl. They're not going that far.
Steelers got to Super Bowl.
No, I'm not urinating tree, okay? I'm not urinating tree. NFC divisional round. Rams and 49ers will be the 3rd time all year, and it will be a rematch to last year's NFC Championship. I have the Rams once again moving on. And then we have the Buccaneers and the Eagles. Same result as last year's playoffs. Buccaneers defeat the Eagles, but it'll be a lot closer this time. AFC Championship, Bills versus the Steelers. You know what's crazy, though, is back in 1984, after Terry Bradshaw retired for the final time after he was injured in 82, he finally retired in 83.
Mm-hmm.
He finally retired. Guess what? Guess where the Steelers ended up in 1984?
Super Bowl.
The AFC Championship game.
Oh, wow.
They ended the AFC Championship game, which is insane. I think Kenny Pickett will come in late in the season and he'll have a Joe Flacco type run through the playoffs like he did in 2008. But just like Joe Flacco did in 2008, they will not make it to the Super Bowl. I have Buffalo winning the AFC this year and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think this journey ends with the Steelers, and Kenny Pickett's wild ride into starting will end, unfortunately. Just like Big Ben was not able to win the AFC Championship as a rookie, Joe Flacco was never able to win as a rookie. Same with the Steelers. The Steelers will not go to the Super Bowl. So the Buffalo Bills I have as my AFC runner, my AFC favorites, and my AFC team representing the Super Bowl will be the Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
The NFC Championship game will be interesting, though. This will be in Los Angeles, and it'll be the Buccaneers and Rams. Once again, another playoff rematch. But this time, however, I think something interesting will happen. I think the Rams go up on a big lead, just like they did against Tampa Bay in last year's playoff game. But this time, Matt Gay misses a game-tying field goal, and the Buccaneers hold on and go to the Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. I don't think it's going to be a 23 type lead, but it'll be at least a 10-point lead. The Rams will blow it, and the Buccaneers will go to the Super Bowl as the NFC representative.
Nice.
My Super Bowl prediction is the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This will be a classic. This will be Tom Brady's last game. I think that this will be a game that will be high scoring, back and forth, offense and defense, trying to do what they can. But late on in the game, the Bills will be down, trying to get a potential game-winning touchdown. The Buccaneers cornerback will drop an interception, and it will go into the hands of Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
Buffalo
man.
finally win the Super Bowl and have a miracle moment. The Diggs catch,
Wow.
the Allen to Diggs catch, will be the way the Buffalo Bills capture their first ever Super Bowl in franchise history. Fifth time
Wow.
being there, they finally get it done, and they beat the quarterback that has haunted them for so many years in the AFC East. But now the Bills, it's their turn to beat Tom Brady in the biggest game and send Tom Brady home into retirement as a Super Bowl loser. Buffalo wins the Super Bowl over Tampa Bay 34-28.
oh,
And
you even
hoist the Lombardi trophy.
damn, you even did a score prediction for that.
Yes, I did. I did a score prediction. My MVP of the game would actually be Josh Allen.
No surprise. No surprise whatsoever.
That's just my prediction for the Super
I
Bowl.
like it. I like that a lot. Should we start with week one?
Yes, we should.
Should we move on to week one?
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for our week one picks. We start off tomorrow night in Los Angeles, as it will be the Buffalo Bills against the Los Angeles Rams. Referee for this game, Lucas.
Referee for the game. I have to find it. For some reason, I
still
don't
have
know
that?
where. I got to find it. So give me a second. I will find it. So,
The announcers for this game are Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth, as this is on NBC.
that is
Check
right.
the local listings.
That is right.
Who you guys got and why?
Oh, yeah. The spread was also Bills 2.5, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. 2.5.
Ooh, I like it. Oh, and the referee for this game is Carl Sheffers.
Carl Sheffers. All right. Who do you guys got and why?
Who wants to go first on this
Who
game?
wants to go
I
first?
just spent a ton of time talking, so I would feel bad if I just went first. But
All right. Well, let me go ahead and speak on this here. I can see a really great game to start this season. I see points. I see points scored. I see an offensive battle. And in the end, don't worry. I got this one here. I said the Rams will probably win the Super Bowl. This is not my episode special. That was coming up later in the show, but I've actually got the Buffalo Bills taking down the Rams by a score of 33-30.
All right. So the home team, Los Angeles Rams, the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions. That has to be a good feeling. Them coming home to that.
Yeah.
Home team coming off the Super Bowl has been a good play in these games. Week one games, the Rams are, I believe, at home 10-5-1 the last few years.
that's insane to think about, but it is the truth.
Wow.
That is true. But I'm going to go with the Bills here. I think they will be one of the most explosive teams on offense all year, and it starts this Thursday. But the biggest difference is that they have Von Miller and the Rams don't. That
That's right.
will mean sack, fumble, game over late for the Bills to win. 30-24. Give me Buffalo.
Buffalo. I'm going with the Bills as well, Alex. The reason why I have the Bills in this game, it's a little simple here. I think the Bills will start off going on a big run. This will be the year where they go and make themselves the front runners of the league for best team in the league. and they go against the Rams. This will be a very high-scoring offensive matchup. I think the Rams will definitely have a good chance to get early, just like they did in the Super Bowl. I think the Bills' offense, though, will be able to clutch, get more opportunities, get more things in the clutch compared to the Cincinnati Bengals in Super Bowl 56. I think that the Bills' offense is definitely better, and I think the Bills will definitely take advantage more. I think this comes down to the field goal unit, and I think Tyler Bass kicks a game-winning field goal for the Bills to defeat the Rams in Week 1 by a final score of 34-31. Give me the Bills.
Very nice. All right, let's go to this game next.
All right.
San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears.
Oh,
This game is in Chicago. We have Daryl Johnston and Joe Davis on the call.
All right.
And referee for this game
is Clay Martin.
I guess I'll start off with this one. This is Trey Lance's first game as the starter for the San Francisco 49ers at quarterback. That can lead to a lot of pressure on the road, but the 49ers are clearly the better team here. Kyle Shanahan will make it easy for Trey Lance. Justin Fields will have problems behind a shaky offensive line for the Bears against a very good San Francisco 49ers defense. Give me the 49ers to win by a final score of 24-14.
Very nice, very nice. I agree with everything you've just said on that one, A Pizzle, and for that reason, I'm taking the 49ers to win this one by a score of 31-24.
There we go.
I'm going to make this 3 in a row. The 49ers are favored by 7 points, and the 49ers will definitely win by at least more than 7 points. I know Steel Sermon wants us to do spreads, and this will definitely be one of my favorite spreads of the week is Niners going to get easily more than 7. I think the 49ers win by at least 13 points. Give me the Niners here to win this game. Final score, Niners 34, Bears 13. Give me the Niners to crush the Bears.
Yeah.
I think that the Bears will get a late garbage time touchdown and a 2-point conversion that fails.
Forgot one. Hold on. Let me just add something real quick.
No worries. Go right ahead. I can't believe the Cardinals came back and beat the freaking Nationals after going down 5-1. That's insane, John Sturt. That is nuts. At least they now make themselves ahead of the Brewers by 9 games. And that is crazy to say the least.
This one up here. Next game, we have the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. This game is in Atlanta. The announcers for this game are Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma.
Former Saint.
And the referee for this game is
Alex Kemp.
Who do you guys got and why?
I'll actually go first on this game. The 49ers are the 49ers. The Falcons are facing a tough competition in week 1 going against the Saints. The Saints are a big division rival, and the Saints have done well against the Falcons historically, especially in week 1. The Saints are definitely the much better team. The Falcons may have had a chance to try and compete this year, but that's going to be very unsuccessful. The Saints, just like they did in 2006 when they had that opening game in New Orleans after the Hurricane Katrina, we're going to have a similar kind of complete beatdown happen to the Falcons, and the Falcons will do nothing but take it and accept it. Give me the Saints to win this game. Final score, Saints, I'm going to say 31-21. Give me the Saints. I think the Falcons will score some garbage time touchdowns late. I think Drake London gets his first score. I think that Chris Olave will get his first score for the Saints.
Okay.
And this is a 5.5-point spread, by the way, for the Saints.
It is.
I'm surprised it's not more.
I am too, surprisingly. Now, these two teams do not like each other, and it usually shows in these games whenever they play each other.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints are a better team, but what will they get from Jameis Winston on a weekly basis? That's something that we will all be on the lookout for sure. Marcus Mariota is getting the start for the Falcons. We all know he hasn't started a game since 2019 when he was a member of the Titans. But he can move, but the Saints defense has a chance to be special. They will limit the Atlanta offense here, and Winston will make enough plays down the field. I have the Saints winning big. Not my lock of the week, but I still have them winning very convincingly, 28-13.
I see a close game here, although I'm actually going to go ahead and take the Saints on this one. Atlanta's going to be pulling up a little bit. They may get a garbage time touchdown, but in the end, I'll say New Orleans Saints takes this one 28-24.
I like it.
I like it a lot. Next game, let's go to this one. We got the Baltimore Ravens against the New York Jets.
Oh,
this game is in New York. The announcers for this game are, hold on, let me see if I can find it, Andrew Kettelon and James Lofton.
And we got Craig Whirlstad as the referee for this game.
Who you guys got?
Is there really much to say about this one? This is going to be a lopsided game right there. It's Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets. I think I may be giving the New York Jets a few more points than I really wanted to. But I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. We're going to give it to the Ravens. The Ravens take down the Jets by a score of 33-20. And a Pizzle, get it ready. The Baltimore Ravens are my
and this is my
cold
lock of the century or the week.
Love it.
Wow. That is awesome, Tiny Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's lock of the week. That's awesome. All right. So it's going to be Joe Flacco starting this game for the Jets. What's that?
Against his former team.
Against his former team.
All right.
Zach Wilson's out with a knee injury. We all know that. Flacco won the Super Bowl for the Ravens, but it's been a while since he did. Lamar Jackson is back after a down 2021 season, and I think he gets off to a good start here. The Ravens have some pass rush questions, but they will get around against their old quarterback. I think they keep it close. Matter of fact, I think it's going to be by a field goal. By that, I think the Jets cover. I'm going to say Ravens win 26-23.
Wow, I actually kind of agree with you on the score a little bit. I think the Jets will end up covering.
Jets cover.
7 points is definitely favoring the Jets. I would definitely take the Jets plus 7 if I were a betting man.
Yes.
Which I do bets at times. I'm taking the Jets plus 7. I think that the Ravens will do what they can, but I think the Jets will somehow sneak a way to make this game closer than it should be. I think the Ravens will end up winning, though, but I don't think it'll be by much. 28-24, give me the Ravens.
All right. Next game on the list, we have the Philadelphia Chickens against the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
This game is in Detroit. And the announcers for this game, we have Adam Amin and Mark Schlereth. And referee Lucas.
The referee for this game is Brad Allen. The Eagles are also a 4-point spread, 4-point favorite.
4-point favorites for the Eagles. Now, the Eagles look to have the makings of a deep playoff run. That's if Jalen Hurts can make the strides as a passer, which is what he supposedly done this offseason. The Lions, well, will be feisty. Will it be a very tough team each week, taking on the personality of their head coach, Dan Campbell, MCDC, as he likes to call himself. But facing this Eagles offense will be a challenge for their defense. Hurts, I think, will get his season off to a hot start. I got the Eagles beating the Lions by a final of 31-21.
Hell yeah. Tiny Tim or me?
I'll go ahead and take this one right here. Jalen Hurts is going to be under the microscope a good part of the season. See how he starts out. Detroit's been a rest for the longest time. Even though last year they kind of showed a little bit of signs of improvement, don't really see it enough. Give me those chickens. Although I don't like picking those chickens, I just hate those chickens. But give me those Eagles to win this one against the Lions, 23-17.
I will agree with everyone here. The Philadelphia Eagles will win this game. I definitely think the +4 will be generous. I think the Eagles will definitely win more by that. I say the Eagles will definitely have a good, very good offensive showing. I think the Lions will keep it close, but I think the Eagles will end up winning. Final score for me is going to be 30-20 Eagles. And remember back in the day when this one guy, I know we don't like him anymore, we're not supposed to talk about him anymore, but EDP losing his shit over the fucking Lions winning against the. That was one of the funniest things I remember seeing. Him pretty much going ballistic over Ryan Matthews, fumbling the ball to get the Lions to win.
Oh,
that was
right.
that was something. That was original, but now he ruined himself. But still, that was just a funny ass video. I remember that. Pretty much throwing a shirt and breaking his blinds over Ryan Matthews fumbling the ball. I love to see it.
Wow. Next up, next game on the list, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Washington Commanders. This game is in Washington. And the announcers for this game, we have Chris Myers and Robert Smith. Referee.
The referee for this game is actually one of the new referees this year. I think this is the only new referee this year that has, like, he's a new official referee this year. The name is Trub Blake.
Trub?
T-R-A Blake. Brand new head referee for this year.
Interesting.
Brand new. This will be the first game of Trub Blake's officially career. He's been an NFL referee since 2020, and now he is taking the reins, and he'll be the first. This is his first official game as a head referee.
I forgot to mention, I want, just between the four of us, Steel Summer will join us momentarily, hopefully. I wanted us to keep tally of how many times we pick a certain team.
All right.
Just for fun. You know?
All right. I could do that.
Just for fun. But as for this game,
ooh, I like
this
it.
is my coin flip.
Oh,
This is my coin flip game of the week. I don't know who the hell to pick. Heads will be the Jaguars, and the tails will be the Commanders.
This is actually my coin flip game of the week as well.
A tour.
Yep, the tour. Because it's the closest spread out of the entire week at 2.5. It is the closest spread of the week at 2.5. Washington. Actually, no, it's the second closest one because one of their games close, but I don't think it should be that close. But still, this is the one I had the most trouble on. And my coin actually is pretty interesting. We have the Eagle for Feliz Day Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, nice.
As heads, and then the Cactus Cinco de Mayo is tails.
Got Sacagawea over here, and the baby.
The gold dollar. That's right.
And the Eagle on the back will be the Commanders.
Nice.
So Jaguars, Commanders, ready?
1,
2,
2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. And I have tails, so I'm going with Washington.
I got heads. Do the football. Football. It's Doug Peterson against Carson Wentz. Jaguars beat Wentz last year in the Colts finale. I think the Jaguars are going to have the upper hand. Give me the Jaguars by a final of 21-17.
I'm picking Washington over Jacksonville. Final score. I'm going to say 2017. Washington. Okay. 2017.
Next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts.
Wait, forgot Tiny Tim's pick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. My apologies.
He wasn't a coin flip. He wasn't our coin
flip.
apologies. Nope. Thought about this one, but I'm going to give a slight edge to the Commanders in this one, 24-20.
Nice. Next game on the list, we have the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. This game is in Houston. The announcers for this game are Tom McCarthy and Tiki Barber. And the referee?
The referee for this game is going to be. Let me find it. I gotta find it. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and go back to this. We got Land Clark. Land Clark.
All righty. So it's going to be Matt Ryan's first game as the Colts quarterback after coming over in the trade from Atlanta. And he is still more capable of lighting things up, and which will prove to be a challenge for the Texans defense. They can pound the rock with Jonathan Taylor. Davis Mills looked good for the Texans late last year, which will carry over here. Look for a lot of points in a tight game. I have the Colts beating the Texans by a final of 31-27.
Wow. I don't see it that close right here. I see the Colts winning this one, but I think Houston's going to kind of struggle. I'm going to see the Colts winning this one by a score of 27-10.
This was definitely one of my contention for a lock of the week, but if I had to bring up my old segment, guaranteed teams to lose, the Houston Texans would be on there. This isn't my lock, but this is definitely one of my favorite game spreads here. The Colts are favored by, good Lord, 7 points, and it's going to be at least by 20. Give me the Colts to win 38-13 over the Texans.
All right. Next game on the list, Cleveland Browns and Carolina Panthers. This game is in Carolina on CBS. It's going to be a Spiro Adidas and Jay Feely on the call.
The referee for this game is going to be Brad Rogers, and I so want to go first for this game.
Go ahead. Go.
Cleveland Clowns fans, how is it going to feel when the Carolina Panthers are at home? You guys go there, and Carolina whoops your ass. It's not even close. This game is going to be a slaughter for the Panthers. I think this is the game where the Panthers come out and just completely whack the shit out of the Browns. I think the Browns will just be completely flabbergasted, and I don't think they'll have any idea what to do. I think the Browns will try and make it close, but I think the Panthers will win by at least more than the score. I'm taking Panthers plus 1.5. That's my if I had to make a betting pick, that's probably my favorite betting pick of the week is Panthers minus 1.5. I think they're going to win by at least 7 points. Final score is going to be Panthers 30, Browns 20. Give me the Panthers
30-20. Okay. Well, this is the Baker Mayfield Bowl.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He's the starting quarterback for the Panthers after being discarded by the Browns for Deshaun Watson, who is now suspended. So that means they got to rely on Jacoby Jacoby Brissett.
Brisket.
Okay. That's what us Dolphins fan called him last year.
Okay.
That's what we called him last year. That was our nickname for him. So Brisket's going to start for the Browns this, at least for a few weeks. Mayfield will have a lot of skill talent around him, and the Panthers' young defense will be improved. Carolina wins as Baker Mayfield beats his old team. And even though he didn't admit it to the media, I truly believe it. He is going to fuck them up. Give me the Panthers to beat the Browns 23-10.
I guess because of the Baker Mayfield factor that he's on a new team facing his old team. I guess just for this reason, I've selected this as my game of the week. 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 Do we have a graphic for that?
I don't yet.
Maybe we should work on one.
I got to work on that.
Anyway, Baker
Pause.
Mayfield.
Time out. I think it's time.
Oh,
We got the fourth horseman.
is he?
Yes.
Yes.
We got the 4
Yes!
horsemen.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, hug the steel sermon. Bro,
That's
hug.
right.
My
That's
brother
right.
testify.
Yes.
We got him.
Just want
we got him.
one
We're all
que-
here.
One question: how far are you guys into this?
We're
Not too
about halfway.
Like, what game are you on?
We are on Browns versus Panthers.
Oh, Well, I don't mean to interrupt, but if I may, I want to do my prediction for this one right now
Let's go.
Go.
because I got a lot to say. So, one of the reasons that I'm so hyped up for this game, even though it doesn't involve the Steelers, is because of one thing, and I'll tell you, it doesn't have anything to do with Baker Mayfield. Next month, I'm gonna be a homeowner, and I'm gonna be and I
Awesome.
bought a condo about a month ago
Awesome.
because I'm gonna be working for my job's headquarters, and my job's headquarters are actually in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna be living in Brownstown for a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be about 2
Ooh.
hours away from Pittsburgh, about hour or so away from my hometown. So I get to come up there and talk so much crap about these Browns fans here going up in Brownstown, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Wow.
That does sound really fun.
They are literally no better than what we were with Big Ben. And I love to see it.
You love to see.
That being said, Baker Mayfield's coming on here, and he has been talking so much crap about the Browns because they did him dirty, and I absolutely love it. But I don't think automatically Carolina is going to be a better team because of it. I mean, they're still mediocre at best, and CMC needs to be healthy. Browns are going to be starting Jacoby Brissett for this game.
Fucking A, brisket.
Yeah. Now, common sense would say the Browns are going to win. However, this is my upset of the week.
Hold up.
I'm going.
Oh,
I'm going.
sound the alarm.
That's right. I like that. I like that, man. I'm going Carolina, baby, to beat the Cleveland Browns. Now, for those that are in my tournament, it's going to be a little different this year. You don't have to do scores for every single game. It's just the spread predictions that you need scores for, and you need a lock of the week and you need an upset. And this is my upset right here, man.
Wow.
Carolina over Cleveland.
Sick.
That is awesome. That
Nice,
is awesome. I
nice.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But hey, you
All
know,
right.
I've actually lived in Cleveland before for school. Pizzle remembers that.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the city of Cleveland. They're a lot like Pittsburgh, you know, good, hardworking people up there. You know, nice blue collar Rust Belt town. I just don't like their fucking football team.
Right, right.
Once
Yeah.
a dumpster fire, always a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Should we go over your picks for the previous games?
Yeah, which ones did you guys do already?
Let's start from the top. Let's start with tomorrow night, Bills versus Rams.
Yeah, I'll just watch replay and get the rest of your guys' pick tomorrow. But so
Sounds
Bills and Rams, you got potential game of the year right here, man. I think Buffalo honestly might have the best roster in the league. And
That's
the
why
the Rams, I mean, they're a phenomenal team as well. Hard for me to pick, but like I always say, when in doubt, I go home team. So I'm going to pick the Rams, but I do think, obviously, the Bills are going to give them a great game. Okay.
All right, next up, Saints and Falcons.
Oh, New Orleans easily. I got Atlanta being the worst team in the league this year.
Mhm.
It's one of my worst.
Yeah.
But not my
Yep.
exact worst.
Yeah, they're up there for sure.
Yep.
Speaking of one of the worst teams, Bears and Niners.
San Francisco.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Jets and Ravens.
Honestly, I think the Jets could give Baltimore a little bit of a challenge, but the thing with me is that there's no excuse for Baltimore this year. They're fully well, they're almost fully healthy. Gus Edwards is back on injured reserve.
That's
But
right.
they got the majority of their starters in, which is the main point. And I saw that the Ravens were favored by 6 for this game. This is my spread of the week.
Same.
So
That's mine as well.
yeah, I think Baltimore wins, and I think they cover too. I think they double it up actually, just because the Ravens usually dominate in week 1. That's my main one. This is just going to kind of be like a learning curve kind of game for the Jets. You know, God bless Zach Wilson. Hopefully he can recover soon enough. It's terrible what happened. You never want to see that happen to
Especially in
a young
preseason.
kid, especially him. But yeah, I got Baltimore winning, and I got them covering all day, 33-21, Baltimore.
All right. Eagles and Lions.
Honestly, Detroit, they could be on the uprise in a couple of years. I just don't think this is the year to do it. I think Philly is very much improved. They have one of the best off seasons this year. Howie Roseman did a phenomenal job out there in Philly. So I'm going to go with the Eagles to win this one. I do think the Lions will be competitive, though.
Jaguars and Commies.
This one.
I call them the Redskins still. Fuck it.
Yeah,
They're Commies.
the football team.
Oh no.
I'm going Washington. Like I don't know.
That was
I
my
don't have
coin flip, me and Alex's coin
this,
flip.
yeah, this would be my coin flip, but I don't have a coin with me. But yeah, I'm gonna go Washington just for the hell of it. I don't
Right.
know.
And then Colts Texans.
Oh, Indianapolis all day.
And then now we're up to date.
That was my spread. My spread was actually Colts and Texans.
All right, cool.
Now we
Yeah,
are-
like I said, I'll watch replay tomorrow and
Okay.
finish them up.
All right. Now we are up. So I guess we should go to this game next.
Ah!
Steelers and
Wait a minute.
Browns.
Wait, Steelers and Bengals.
Oh, shoot. My apologies. Hold on a
Oh my
second.
goodness.
Let me just hold on.
I was about wondering. I'm like, they don't play the Browns until week 3.
I know. I
Yeah.
messed up.
That's okay. You're good, man. Don't worry about it.
Cincinnati Bengals. Let's try that again.
There we go. Much better.
My apologies. Steelers Bengals.
Oh, man.
This game is in Cincinnati, I believe.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yep.
And the announcers for this game, we have Ian Eagle and Charles Davis, the A team of CBS.
I actually like that. We have the A team,
Yeah, we usually get Iron Eagle.
which is awesome. I love Iron Eagle's really good. I was actually going to say the Bengals are actually favored by 6.5. But the referee for this game, though, is actually one of the better referees this year, Sean Hockley.
Ah, nice. Who do you guys got? Actually, let's have me and Tim go first, since you all are the fans
Steelers.
of Steelers fans. I guess Tim, who you got in this game?
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to start with me, I see
Let's
a
go.
very close. I see a very close game here. It's gonna be kind of close here, but I'm gonna give it to Joe Burrow here. Pittsburgh, they may have a rough year, but like I said at the beginning when we were doing our season predictions, I predicted once again the Steelers will have a winning season. It's not going to be a huge one, but it's going to be a winning season.
There we go.
But in this game, I'm taking the Bengals with the late field goal. Give me the Bengals over the Steelers 27-24.
I am in complete agreement. The Steelers come in as a division dog, which is a role Mike Tomlin has done well as a coach, going 14-6 in his first in week 1 games. The concerns are that the Steelers offensive line, which is this number, what the fuck am I talking about? Anyways, but the Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow has been dealing with appendicitis all preseason, which might lead to some rust. The Steelers will hang in this one, but I think the Bengals win it late. I agree with Tim. Last second field goal. Give me the Bengals 23-20.
Go ahead first, Steel Man. Then I'm going to say my thoughts.
Steel Maiden, cook.
All right. So this is going to be a very interesting game here. Very interesting era for the Pittsburgh Steelers. As for the first time in 19 years, we don't have 7 under center,
Yep.
which is going to be a transition for us. Tomlin announced the other day that Mitch is going to be the starter, which I believe he should be the starter because you don't want to throw a young guy like Kenny Pickett in the fire too early like that and rush him. That's what we did with Ben in 04. We didn't start him right away. We started Tommy Maddox. And then, of course, Maddox got injured week 2 against Baltimore, and Ben came in, rest is history. But I do agree that Mitch should be the starter,
Yes.
just because, he's the veteran. I mean, best case scenario for me personally is that it's like another Big Ben situation. I mean, I'm not saying I want Mitch to get hurt. I'm just saying, like, at best case, it'd be like a Big Ben scenario. We see the talent in this kid, and he doesn't really have to, learn the playbook all that much. Or if we really are going to start Mitch majority of the season, and you absolutely want to start Kenny Pickett at some point this season, I would start Mitch at least the first 3 weeks. Obviously, got to start him this week. Start him week 2 against New England because Belichick does not lose to rookies. Mm-hmm. And then we got a short week coming up to Cleveland to play the Browns. So I would start him the first 3 weeks. And then if you want to give Kenny Pickett a start, I would start him week 4. We play the Jets that week. It's one of the weaker teams on the schedule. And there I have Mitch majority of the season. We off season needs to up as well. Talking to you, 55.
Bush.
Yeah, just standing there, letting running backs zip right past you. What a disgrace! I'm so close to calling him a bust.
Oh,
I really am. So that's with us. It's like an evenly divided team. Then you got the Bengals. I never thought in a million years I'd be sitting down here talking about how they're the defending AFC champions. But, they had a great year last year. They just couldn't finish the deal. But still, I mean, they have a legit shot of making another deep run. Defense looks improved. O-line got way better, so there's no excuse for Joe Burrow to get sacked 50-plus times again. Jamar Chase, sensational talent they have down there. And, of course, you got T. Higgins as well. I don't really think they're going to miss C.J. Uzomah all that much, but, Joe Burrow has a lot to work with at his disposal. So, boy. This one was very difficult for me to decide. As much as I want to believe that we can go down into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals, and I believe we can. I'm not saying we can't. I believe we can beat them. But for the sake of my picks, I gotta go with the Bengals. I just think that for right now they have the upper hand over us. We'll see in week 12 when it's Sunday Night Football at, I'm still calling it Heinz Field.
Damn right.
Yeah.
We'll see in week 12 when it's Sunday Night Football at Heinz Field if we made any progress. But for right now, I'm going to roll with my narrative that we get the split of the Bengals, each team winning the home game. So I'm going to go Bengals, but I do think that I do have this being, if I had to give a second game that's going to cover the spread, this is going to be it for me. I think the Bengals win, but the Steelers cover.
All right.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Oh, man, this is going to be a very fun game to watch. I'm excited because either way, this will be a fantastic game to watch. I think this will be a very good, hard-fought game for the Steelers and the Bengals. But, Alex, sound the alarm.
Oh, my God. Are you
There you
serious?
Oh,
last year when the Steelers were a 6.5-point underdog against the Buffalo Bills and no one expected us to win?
Yeah.
I think that same kind of narrative happens this week. I think we're going to go into Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not going to expect what we got coming for them, and we're going to go out and win. I think the Steelers will not only win this game, but we'll cover the spread. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. Let's go. We're going to win this game. This is my upset pick of the week. This is definitely the pick. I have the pick for the upset pick of the week this week. I think the Bengals start off the season 0-1, and usually the Super Bowl champion runners up usually lose the first week of the season. So let's go ahead and say that the Steelers win this game. Final score 24-23. Give me the Steelers.
There you go.
Damn.
I know. That was awesome.
I like that.
All right. Next game
If you haven't seen it.
on the list is my game.
Yes, that's Alex's game.
The game that I will be calling on my YouTube channel this Sunday.
Ooh.
My live play-by-play and reactions to this game will be at 1 o'clock. As it will be the New England Patriots traveling to South Florida to face the Miami Dolphins. And we have Greg Gumbel and Adam Archuleta on the call.
Ooh.
All right.
The referee for this game will be John Hussey.
Who do you guys got and why?
You want to go first, Steel Sermon?
Yeah, I guess I'll start things off. So the thing with me, Miami had a really good offseason as well, aside from all the controversy with Brian Flores. I'm not going to get too into that. I just think that there's more to it with his firing. And, you know, I always liked Flores. I think he's a really good defensive-minded coach. And with him being a defensive assistant for us now, I think that it gives me a little bit more confidence with Terrell Austin as the DC now. You know, I think with Flores whispering in his ear, Flores does really well with linebackers. Just something I forgot to mention in my pick. But, yeah, you know, Miami, though, they really improved in the offseason. Their receiving core looks way better, especially with the addition of the Cheetah, fastest man on the planet, Tyreek Hill. So there's no excuse for Tua to not up his game this year. Defense still looks really good for Miami. Dolphin fans have a lot to look forward to. New England, I don't think they're as good as people say.
No.
They were They were what 9-4, 9-3 at one point last year, number one seed in the AFC, and they basically came in the playoffs limping.
Yeah.
Their offense is okay, but okay offenses aren't going to get you very far.
No.
Like Mac Jones, he has to ball out, or he's going to be Alex Smith 2.0, pretty much. You know, New England's strictly a defensive team. So the biggest takeaway for me, even in the Tom Brady Belichick era, they have never done well in Miami. Brady actually has a losing record all time in Miami. And the Dolphins have won 7 out of the last 9 in Miami against the Patriots. And I'm going to say that trend continues. Give me the Fins. Fins up over the Patriots. I'm going to take Miami.
All right.
Ty and Tim. Then me.
All right. I am going to I agree with everything that Steel Sermon had just said. I mean, Miami has really bolstered up their offense. I think the defense seems a little bolstered up. Hopefully, Tua will have a better season than last year. I myself am too going Fins up. Going Miami 26, New England 21, Fins up.
Fins up! Dolphins will win this game convincingly. I do not think the Patriots, with their mediocre wide receiver core, will get much done in Miami. I think the Miami hot sun is going to completely shut down the Patriots this week as the Dolphins get a big win. Final score, Dolphins 34, Patriots 17.
Patriots are in an unusual situation right now because they have to rely on Matt Patricia and Joe Judge to call their offense.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Joe.
I mentioned this already, but I'm bringing it up again because
Dumb
Matt
and dumber.
Patricia, the former defensive coordinator, former Lions coach, who has not called offense at all, and then Joe Judge, whose main claim to fame last year was running a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9. That's pretty much the highlight of their offseason.
And challenging a touchdown, too.
Oh, oh yeah, that too. While the Dolphins are coming off a offseason to remember. We bring in Tyreek Hill. We bring in Tyron Armstead. We bring in guys like Connor Williams to help out the offensive line. Defense did not change at all. So I think Mike McDaniel, new head coach, will get the ball out quick to his playmakers and cause issues for a defense that isn't as talented as years past. I think the Dolphins get the win. They have won 3 straight. Make it 4. Fins up, baby! Final score, 24-17. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
All righty then.
Now we're going on to the 4 o'clock games.
Ooh.
One of my favorite rivalries in all of the NFL. We got the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. This game is in Minnesota. And the announcers for this game are Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson.
I like it. Very interesting. The referee for this game is going to be Bill Vinovich.
I guess I'll go first in this one.
All right.
So, Aaron Rodgers has 13 touchdown passes and no picks in his last 4 games against the Vikings, but he went 2-2 in those games. The difference this time will be their defense, and that unit has a chance to be special. Vikings counter will with an offensive or explosive offense, but in this one, that offense doesn't get rolling like it will. I think the Packers get the win. Go Pack, go Cheeseheads for the win, 24-18.
I also got the Vikings as well. Not the Vikings. I got the Vikings not being the Packers this week. I think the Packers will get the job done.
There
I think
we
their
go.
defense will be the big factor here. I think the Packers will cause Kirk Cousins to get many turnovers, and Kirk Cousins will not like that. Packers win this game. Final score 24-20. Give me the Packers.
Well, let's see here. Yeah, Green Bay's pretty good against Minnesota, but this is not my upset special of the week. This is not my upset special. This is coming up later. But I actually see Minnesota with a late charge, late in the game. We want to take down the Packers. It's going to be a kind of a close game. I got Minnesota winning by a score of 30-24.
I agree. This has always been one rivalry that I've always looked forward to watching, Packers and Vikings. Big headlines with Green Bay. Devontae Adams is gone. That's going to be tough for Aaron Rodgers to adjust. He's already throwing wide receivers under the bus. Jair Alexander's gone too. That's going to be a big blow for their defense. Aside from that, though, I still think Green Bay is in really good shape to still win the NFC North. I just don't think that they're going to be as dominant. But if they really do think that bad is worth all that money for 4 years, then so be it. But I'm telling you, they better win at least one Super Bowl in those 4 years. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is the most underrated team in the league. They have a ton of firepower on that offense. Justin Jefferson is phenomenal. Adam Thielen's really good. Dalvin Cook is very dangerous when he's healthy. And Kirk Cousins. Now, I think Kirk Cousins is overrated, but not in the traditional way. But like when people say, "Oh, this guy throws 33 touchdowns and 7 picks. He's a top 10 quarterback." Like, no, like right there, I think you're overrating him. Like that's what I mean by that. Like you're overrating him there. He'll never be top 10. He'll be top 15, just not top 10. But Minnesota's defense needs work, but their front is really good. Second in sacks last year behind us. So, yeah, I mean, I really wanted to pick Minnesota for this, but I don't know. I just never liked to bet against the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to take Green Bay, but I got Minnesota making it incredibly close.
All
right.
All right. Next game on the list, we have the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, jeez.
This game is in Tennessee. Announcers for this game are Kevin Kugler and Mark Mr. Butt Fumble Sanchez.
Oh, God. And
10
Jerome
years,
Boger
still don't forget.
That's right. And Jerome Boger's the referee.
I'll go first.
Oh, yeah. Forgot to mention Titans are 5.5. The last game was Packers 1.5 for spreads.
Titans suffered a hit to their defense last week with Harold Landry going down with a torn ACL. That will impact the pass rush in a big way. I think Giants coach Brian Dabble make his debut here, and he should be able to create problems for that defense without Harold Landry. The Titans will pound Derrick Henry, but their passing game has a lot of issues. First time this week, or first time this season. Sound it. I don't trust Ryan Tannehill.
Really?
Simple as that. Giants get the win over the Titans, 28-24.
Wow.
Big Blue.
Wow.
I did not expect that. Dying Tim, or still where you want to go?
I'll go.
All
I gotta say, I'm in the complete opposite of Pizzle.
I'm sorry.
So you'll
I
see
love
in a
it.
little
It's
bit.
week one. Week one. You gotta go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm in the complete opposite. Like Derrick Henry's back. He's gonna be fully healthy this year, even though he missed pretty much half of last year. Still had 900 yards on the ground. That guy has to be in consideration for MVP, pretty much. Yes, I don't trust Ryan Tannehill either, so I think Tennessee's going to be playing musical chairs at quarterback this year like they were a couple years ago. But why was Tennessee 12-5 last year in the number 1 seed? Oh, yeah, it's their defense. Their defense was phenomenal last year, and I think it got even better this year. The Giants, I like DeBall. I think he can work well at the offense, and if he developed Josh Allen, I think he can make Daniel Jones look a little bit better. But Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay, they were massive letdowns last year. No touchdowns from either of them.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, seriously, Andrew Thomas had a receiving touchdown.
They're offensive linemen.
Yeah, their left tackle. He had a
my
receiving
gosh.
touchdown. But, the Giants, their defense is pretty hit and miss. Sometimes it looks really good, and then other times it looks like it doesn't even belong in college. But, the Giants, I just don't think that they make any improvements. And a big year for Saquon Barkley, too. This could be his last year in New York,
That's right.
Could be.
So, I just think Tennessee's the overall better team. And is there a sound effect?
There is.
Good, because this is my lock of the week.
And this is my stone cold lock of the century. Or the week.
This is my lock of the week right here. Why? The Giants, like the Browns, have a lot of trouble in week 1. Giants have lost 10 out of their last 12 week ones. Yep. including 5 in a row.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I expect that trend to continue. Give me the Titans all over the Giants.
They're not as bad as the Browns. The Browns haven't won one since 2004.
Yep.
Right.
That is insane.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Titans on this one because I give it to Derrick Henry. Hopefully, the Titans won't run him into the ground like the Cowboys did with DeMarco Murray a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Because Derrick Henry is he's an awesome running back. Giants, they've had change in management, change in change here. It could work well for them, as I said earlier, but it may take a little while. I am taking the Titans over the Giants by a score of 27-21.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I have an over-under prop that's actually pretty interesting for you guys. Over-under how many times Derrick Henry trucks the defender. I have at least 10. My prop is
10.
10 times he trucks
Wow.
10 times.
He trucks Giants defenders like it's nothing, and it's going to be fun watching Derrick Henry get
Just
at
like
least
the
15.
bus did.
Just like the bus did. That's right.
Just like the bus, just like Barry Sanders. And
Oh, Henry will be a fantastic lock this week for
Mhm.
fantasy purposes. Give me the Giants to get crushed by the Titans. The Titans win this game easily, 42-13. Give me the Titans easily. I think Derrick Henry gets at least 150 yards rushing.
At least a
Wow.
$150. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next game on the list, we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. This game is in Los Angeles. Kevin Harlan and Trent Green are going to be on the call this Sunday.
Sean Smith is the referee, and it's a 3.5-point spread. But not only that, Alex, this is my game of the week. Game of the week. Game of the week. Game of the week. Game of the week.
I'm going to come up with something for that.
You gotta do that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this is my game of the week. Actually, this is my game of the week. I'm extremely excited for this game. Both offenses are going to be extremely good, fun to watch. This will be a offensive shootout. I think both these offenses will go completely crazy. The Chargers and Raiders. They had a great game last year on Monday Night Football. They've had 2 great games in a row in prime time. Make it a third one in a row. This will be a fantastic game. But I think the Chargers at the end of the day will get. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
I don't know why okay. Yeah, I don't know why my mic went out like that. But anyways, Chargers will win this game. I'm going to say final score of 41-38. Go, Chargers, go.
41-38. Wow.
Wow.
High scoring.
Wow.
Shootout.
Yeah, that's a
Just
real.
shootout ran all over it.
I like it.
Boy,
Well,
that's a
this
real
game-
high-scoring
This game features 2 teams that will push for a playoff spot and a division title. The Raiders beat the Chargers in the finale last season to get into the playoffs. And this time around, it will be different. The Chargers are at home with Khalil Mack added to the defense that will be able to slow down Derek Carr. Justin Herbert will have a big day on the other side. Give me the Chargers to beat the Raiders by a final of 31-21.
All right. Yes, this has the making of 2 teams maybe taking it down to the wire for the division and maybe some seeding. I see this game another close one here. I'm going to give the edge to the home team Chargers. Go Chargers, go! And they will go and win by a score of 27-23.
All right, so this is one of your premier matchups of the week without a doubt. The Chargers, they did not make the playoffs last year because they couldn't tie the Raiders. And they pretty much wasted what was them looking like a Super Bowl contender first part of the season. But I think the Chargers really improved in the offseason. A lot of their receivers are starting to come together. Justin Herbert, one of the best young QBs in the league. Defense is still a little spotty, but Joey Bosa is still a stud. I love the Bosa brothers, man.
Oh,
Always
dude.
did. But yeah, me personally, Kansas City, they may still be the team to beat in the AFC West. But I honestly think if there's one team that can one-up them, it's the Chargers.
I agree.
Because next week, the Chargers and Chiefs play each other on Thursday night next week. And that game's in Arrowhead. The Chargers have beaten Kansas City 3 out of the last 4 times at Arrowhead.
Ooh.
Not a lot of teams can say they've done that, especially with
Right.
Mahomes. So that's one of the main reasons that I think LA can one-up Kansas City this year. Then you got Vegas. Adams is there. Waller's there. Renfro in the slot. That is a deadly trio right there, man. If Josh Jacobs can be a little bit more consistent, Vegas could low-key have one of the best offenses in the league.
No doubt.
Yeah. Vegas, their defense, I think, is a little bit better than the Chargers, but I just think LA's offense is too much to handle. It's going to be a tall task for Vegas to order here. So, difficult one for me. Vegas does usually start the season off hot, but I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one. Offensive explosion from both ends, but I'm going to go with the Chargers.
All right. Next game we have is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Arizona Cardinals. This game is in Arizona. Jim Nance and Tony Romo are on the call.
The referee for this game for Chiefs and Cardinals is Scott Novak.
Right. Well, this should be fun to watch. Patrick Mahomes going up against Kyler Murray. It's going to be interesting to see how Mahomes fares without a certain cheetah, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But here's the thought: he'll be just fine. The Arizona cornerback situation is kind of shaky, which Mahomes will take advantage of here. I think the Chiefs win in a high-scoring game. Give me the Chiefs 33-30.
Nice. I like that one. In fact, I think I agree with everything Pizzle said. I got 33-24 Kansas City. And I just had to do that quickly because I got to use the restroom again. So,
All right.
yeah.
Look at that.
There we go.
Who's next?
I'll go.
right.
So I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to be kind of frank. I think Kyler Murray's very overrated. I just don't see what's so special about him. I mean,
Should have stuck with baseball.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
Not
he
one of-
probably should be playing for the baseball Cardinals, not the football Cardinals. But I just don't see what's so special about him. I think he's carried by his receivers, and it's going to be very telling that how he's going to be with D-Hop missing some of the season. Arizona under Cliff Kingsbury last year. I hate to use this comparison, but it reminded me a lot of us in 2020. You got off to a great start, limped in the playoffs, and then you lost in humiliating fashion. That interception that Murray threw was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, just take the safety. I mean, there's not much you can do. Why would you try to force the ball like that? Just take the safety, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's besides the point. I think Arizona's going to regress a little bit this year, but I still think that they'll be in the playoff picture. Kansas City, as I talked about a little bit ago, Yeah, I still think they're a very good team, but can you call them the best team in the AFC West right now? That's up for debate, in my opinion. Because I think out of all four of them teams in the AFC West, I think Kansas City had the worst offseason of the four. They lost Tyreek Hill.
Yep.
They lost some of the O-line. They lost the Honey Badger on defense. That's really going to hurt their
That's big.
defense.
That's massive.
And they lost Byron Pringle, who's a good red zone threat for him. So
And a good returner.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they still got Travis Kelce and McCole Harbin's probably going to get more reps. And yeah, Juju's a solid receiver, but he's not Tyreek Hill.
No, he's
Plain
not.
and
Not
simple.
Juju, is he really number one?
I don't
No,
think
it's
Juju
Marquez
to me.
Valdes-Scantling.
Juju's 2 at best for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, Kansas City, they're going to look really different this year, and they're going to look a little bit more vulnerable. But still, I mean, anyone in their right mind would say they're going to make the playoffs. But for this one, I'm going to go Kansas City. I do got Arizona making it a little good, but I'm going to go with Kansas City.
All right.
I'm going to go Kansas City as well. I just do not see how the Cardinals win this game. They're going to have a rough start to the season, especially without DeAndre Hopkins. And this will be a rough start for them. I think that the Cardinals will do what they can. But that first 3 games for the Cardinals are going to be all bloodbath games for them. They play the Chiefs, Raiders, and Rams in 3 weeks. And then the Eagles within the 5th week. That sounds absolutely awful. I think the Cardinals are going to have a rough stretch. I think that the Chiefs will win this game. Final score, Chiefs, I'm going to say they'll put up points 34-23. Give me the Chiefs.
All right, Sam. You know what game's next? Sunday night, NBC. Check all those things. My game of the week. 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 Rematch of last year's opener.
Yeah.
It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Dallas Cowboys, but this time it's in Jerry World.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know who the announcers are going to be. Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth calling it for NBC. Referee is
Ron Torbert.
Well, these two both came into the game with concerns on their offensive lines. That's a problem for Tom Brady, who doesn't move as well. Dak Prescott will be able to handle himself by moving around, creating problems outside the pocket. Cowboys, I think, will win a tough defensive game to get off to a 1-0 start. Give me the Cowboys to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by a final of 20-17. How about them Cowboys?
Well, obviously these two were in a great game to start off last year. Tampa got the job done. They did get kind of lucky, but still Tom Brady threw for over 400 yards against them, I believe. Dallas, I still think they can be a playoff team this year, but it's going to be difficult for them. Randy Gregory not on the defense anymore. That's going to hurt. They lost Amari Cooper as well. And I don't know. Their offensive line just looks a little deflated as well. And I don't know about Zeke. So I just really don't know about Dallas. I think that they kind of overachieved last year. But still, I think that they're good enough to get back to the playoffs. But can you call them the best team in the NFC East right now? It's between them and Philly.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, I like to keep narratives alive. The NFC East hasn't had a repeat champion since 2004.
Oh.
So I really think Philly has a good chance of winning the East, but I think Dallas is going to give them a good fight throughout the whole season. But then you got Tampa Bay. Every single time I have to say it. I can't stand the guy, but he's the GOAT. I can't. There's no denying it. I mean, the dude's 45 years old and he still plays like he's my age.
It's insane.
Like he ages backwards. Like I just don't get it.
Benjamin Button.
Like a fine wine, if you
Yeah,
will.
I just don't get it, man. Like they added Julio Jones now. I mean, that's not a massive addition, but still Julio is a savvy veteran who's gonna, who's gonna be beneficial to that receiving core. Mike Evans is still a stud. Godwin's still there, but Gronk is gone for good. He retired. Tampa's got an amazing defense as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think Dallas can give him kind of a good game, but I just think Tampa's too much to handle. I'm gonna go with the Bucks to win this one.
All right. Lucas? LC Muscle?
That's me. But let's this game be a warning to everybody. This game is definitely one of those games that you will not expect what happened here. How's everyone doing? How are you doing, Trash Shaw Drama Alert? How you doing, man? That being said, this game is going to be extremely interesting to watch. I think that both offense will definitely play very well. Yes, it is. That's what's up, World Star. How you doing? I knew it was World Star. But, yeah, this Steel Sermon. He's back on for the
Yeah,
fall.
he's
Yeah. At least for this week, yeah.
That's for this. That's right. But still, this game will be very interesting to watch. Just the fact that both of these offenses will be very strong. They have really good offenses. I'm not going to lie here. You got Julio Jones, you got Russell Gage, you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin for the Buccaneers, and Leonard Fournette. And for the Cowboys, you have CeeDee Lamb, you have Jalen Tolbert, who just is a new receiver that they've had a decent preseason in. Got some good young talent for the Cowboys, and this game will come down to which offensive line can produce a little bit better. I think Tampa Bay's will definitely produce just a tad bit better, even though they lost center Ryan Jansen, while the Cowboys have lost Tyron Smith. I think the Buccaneers will end up winning this game, but I think it'll definitely be really close. That's final score of 31-27. Give me the Buccaneers.
Tim?
all right. All eyes on me. All right, got my rally towel here. Okay, yeah. So the Cowboys had a pretty rough offseason, losing Amari Cooper to the Browns, losing another talented receiver in Cedric Wilson to the Dolphins. Randy Gregory, I can't remember who he went to.
The Broncos?
I think Randy Gregory went to the Broncos. Who was the offensive line? Was it Connor who went to the Dolphins?
Connor Williams, and then you guys also lost Lyle Collins to the Bengals.
Lyle Collins to the Bengals. Yeah, those are pretty big losses there. But I'm still trusting the defense here, even though there's no Randy Gregory anymore. We still have this guy here. Last year's NFC defensive rookie of the year, Micah Parsons. And we still have the interception machine, Trayvon Diggs. We still got him. Leighton Vander Esch, hopefully he can stay healthy. He was like the successor to Sean Lee, but the thing was he was kind of injury prone too. CeeDee Lamb is now our number one receiver. He has just grown and flourished so wonderfully these first two seasons of his NFL career. And I'm going to say we still have some young receivers. Jalen Tolbert, we drafted him earlier this year. He has been making some strides in training camp and in the preseason. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady's still Tom Brady, and not sure about the defense. I mean, he's still got some good receivers, even though he no longer has Gronk. But I've got a strange feeling. I got a strange feeling that something good is going to happen for this game. So, Alex, sound the alarm.
Oh! I got to hear this.
believe it will come down to a late field goal within probably about 2 minutes left of the game. And the Dallas Cowboys will do something they've never done before. They will beat Tom Brady.
Oh,
I've got the Cowboys winning this one by a score of 31-28. How about them Cowboys?
Love it.
Ooh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
And last but not least, we got Monday night football, as it is the Denver Broncos going to Seattle to face the Seattle Seahawks. And for the first time, it's going to be Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call.
That's
Oh,
insane
boy.
that they're on Monday night.
Beavis and Butthead on Monday night.
But if I'm not mistaken, there's also going to be Manning night
And a
football
Manning
again.
cast.
That's right.
Right.
Manning cast is back.
Heck yeah, I love Manning Cast.
Who's the referee?
Cleet Blakeman,
Cleat.
the guy whose name you wear on your feet.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for this game, this is Russell Wilson's return to play his former team, which makes this game really intriguing for both sides. The Seahawks are almost in rebuild mode after trading him, but playing him on Monday night in Seattle is always a tough place to play. I think this one's going to be close, but this is my lock of the week.
And this is my stone cold lock of the century. Or the week.
Broncos country, let's ride. Give me the Broncos to win by a final of 27-10.
So, play the video, same video again, Alex. It's also mine.
And this is my stone cold lock of the century. Or the week.
Yeah, this is my Stone Cold Lock Century of the Week. Baby. This game, I do not see the Seahawks making this close. I think that they'll try their best, but at the end of the day, the Broncos defense will completely swallow Geno Smith whole. Final score, Broncos 38, Seahawks 9.
Wow.
Just
Nine.
9.
Just a niner on that one.
9.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is going to be very good. I can just hear that crowd up there in the Pacific Northwest. That is going to be a loud booing section from the crowd up there in Seattle when Russell Wilson makes his way up there. And they're going to be booing even more when those Denver Broncos take down those pathetic buzzards.
The buzzard.
The buzzards. I am picking. This probably would have been my other lock of the week, but I've already got that earlier. But this will be a good one here. I got Denver winning this one by a score of 35-20.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
All I gotta say is Denver. Seattle sucks, man. I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean,
That's very much plain and simple up there.
they're gonna be a top 3. They're gonna be a top 3 draft pick. Like, I got nothing good to say about them. Like, seriously, not even DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. You know, Denver wins this one easily. Russell Wilson's gonna go off. Those bandwagon fans up there are going to be salty. And Denver's going to come away with an easy dub. Give me the Broncos.
And there you have it.
There you have it,
That's
guys.
week 1. That is our picks and predictions for not just the season, but also week number 1. Next week, we'll be here for week number 2. Hopefully, you guys will be as well.
Hell yeah.
So for LC Muscles 28, for Tiny Tim, and for Steel Sermon, this is A Pizzle saying peace out. Fins up. Baby! We'll see y'all next week.
See you later. Stay awesome.
Peace.
Let's go Steelers.